All right, we are live.
Oh, we're live? No,
Yeah,
we're not live.
we're live. I
It
turned it
says
on.
5 minutes till showtime.
It says 5 minutes till showtime.
Hey, I changed it. All right, I skipped it. I fast forwarded. We're a little bit
It's
Things
like
late.
have
false
So.
advertisement.
things just happen. Can we go back to where we weren't live? Oh crap, we're live now.
Rich is back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Welcome back, Rich.
Are we live before I
No,
say
go ahead.
something
Say
really
what you
freaky?
want.
You want me to rant? Get Chris and I in a meeting again?
So I heard somebody put out a case study today. Rich, what did you think about it?
I have not seen any case studies today, so let's just moving on. Did I miss something?
Moving on.
You guys are talking
Now I
about
gotta
me, right?
now I gotta go look. Where's Tommy? Tommy is flying back.
He's in Guatemala, so his internet is like 2G, I think. So not possible.
It's like 0.2G. Let's be honest.
Dial up.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
Brendan, I want to know if you're asleep.
Yeah.
You,
Wake
you
up.
look kind of asleep.
Let's see some excitement.
Be animated. Brendan, can you do the dance? Can you do the dance?
I thought his hat said beans. It actually says bears.
Duh beans.
Everybody sees me. They're like, "Oh, like the Bears, huh?" So we are here.
We're here.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
So what's in Vegas? What's coming up in Vegas, Chris?
It's the
The
Matco,
convention.
Tool Expo. Yeah.
Didn't we just do that in Orlando?
We did, but they
month
were
ago?
like, what, yeah, it feels like a month ago, but they were late. I guess they were late last year,
Oh, okay.
so I guess this is the normal time. I'm going to Vegas.
That's when I bought the hutch and the top locker to my toolbox from the Expo tool discounts.
Was it last year that they released that desert runner like color? I mean, I think it was badass. Maybe it's been
Well,
out longer, but that's the first time I've seen it.
I do remember last year was the year of the blue screwdrivers.
That's
That was
exciting. Very exciting.
Oh yeah, so exciting.
So, do they have that Matco convention at the Home Depot, or is that actually?
That's Craftsman. Wait, no,
Nice.
Lowe's is Craftsman.
I just want to know when it's coming back to Orlando for so I can watch Chris eat 2 bites of a turkey leg
The one that he bitched about all
all
night.
All night. Had to get a turkey leg. Took 2 bites and went, nah, I'm good.
So what happened?
That's what happens to everybody that gets a turkey leg, I feel like.
What had happened was we did those 2 motion rides, the motion ride and then the roller coaster that went backwards. I almost threw up. Rich, who was mortified.
Rich was so freaking mad at us for putting him on that ride. And you and me,
And I
we were
had
like
so
wrecked
much fun.
afterward. And Richard was like, oh, that was awesome. Let's do it again. Me and Chris are like blue in the face.
we were walking up and I thought it was just another motion ride. It was the Harry Potter. It was a motorcycle one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought it was a motion ride, and Rich is like, no, I will not do a roller coaster. I will not do a roller coaster. Like, no, it's a motion ride. We're watching it go by. Like, no, that's another one. Then we get in there, and Rich can't turn back because he's like a giant pussy.
It doesn't help that they fed us like the entire night before
Well,
that.
That's true.
Oh yeah. It was we ate that. Right after done, we had that butter. No, it was the all that butter beer and the scotch, all that Harry Potter food. And then one of the motion ride, and
Thank
then
you,
got
Bathroom
us.
again.
It's Brandon. He succumbed to peer pressure. How's it going, you sexy CSer?
You just got.
Oh, hold on,
You
I
just got
got it.
10 bucks.
Oh
JK.
God!
I gotta fix this.
Oh sweet beer. That's right.
Peanut butter.
How's that? That's better.
Beer makes the world go round.
Brandon, I need a minute now. Hold on, you showed up. I need a minute. Whew. I gotta cool down.
Oh God!
I,
I mean, he
thought
is
you looked kind of flushed, man.
he is a handsome lad. I will say.
Look at him. Yeah, look
God bless
at
you,
him.
fellas.
Even
Look
the,
at
him.
even the
Look
gray.
at him all. Look at him all ripped. Look at him. Just take it off. Just take it off.
I think we do need like a dirt bike video, like a shirtless Brandon dirt bike video.
Oh,
We
we
can
should do it.
Hey, there could be a Train by Tex OnlyFans.
What do you mean? What do you mean could?
There actually is.
God.
I got this one common. Well, this is last year's version, and I got the new one common.
What do you
You
got,
still
Brandon?
waiting on it, Brandon?
Yeah, I had the.
Ordered
I
it like a
canceled-
year and a half ago.
Well, I can't. Well, it's coming from Italy, and they're having the same issues everybody else has with parts. So
What brand bike is that? I can't see.
this is a. Sorry,
It's a blue. It's a blue and red.
this is a. Well, this is last year's. version.
Bring the bike closer, Brandon.
This is a beta. You want to watch
Can
me
you, can you
try
sit
and climb
on
on
it?
it?
Sit on it?
Try and climb on it.
That thing looks
Can't,
nice.
he can't reach the handlebars. What are you talking about? He's sitting on
I'm
6
jealous.
elbows right now.
I think I
Brandon,
need
hi.
surgery. I think I need surgery in my knee.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I think I tore the cartilage. It's just
Was it-
it's killing me. I'd squat down and put some food in a dog bowl, and
Was
Knees
it all
went
the
over my-
aggressive?
I just think that your knee can't.
that a
handle much
euphemism for something?
attractiveness.
no, it's not. That's what happened.
Was it all the aggressive masturbation?
with his knee?
You guys are gonna get me in trouble.
He's like a dog when he masturbates. His knee kicks.
I don't know if I can be here.
No, rub his belly too hard.
I'll filter this out.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Hey, give me a second. I gotta turn off the TV. I got too many of you guys screaming at different times. It's like it's not synced.
Uh,
Oh, that was funny.
All right.
So,
So
you
we
want
doing
to
our
leave the fun stuff?
announcement?
Let's
yeah,
announce
let's do
it.
the announcement.
Let me pull this up on our website so I can share it.
Oh, yeah.
Tim.
Well, so let's go back. So we can officially announce again that we are officially a 501(c), so we can run raffles and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And we said
gotta
that we would go
Can I
on.
say something? I'm extremely proud of you fellas. That
Yeah?
was I know that was not an easy thing to do.
A lot of that was
And it-
Tommy, and he's not here right now, which
Yeah.
is crappy because I want to say thanks.
I'm going to spend time with my little round friend a couple weeks from now.
Awesome.
I'm going to ride with Tommy for a week.
I'm gonna spend time with you in a couple days. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. The Mat Coat. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure what to expect, but be a
All
good time.
kinds of fun.
they're gonna have you in meetings like 20 hours of the day, every day.
No, I get to schmooze.
Oh.
I get to talk and listen and shake hands and stuff.
So we officially went through the entire painstaking process through COVID. Tommy led the charge, and it sucks he's not here, to take the credit, but he's not the type of guy to
We did that
accept credit
last
anyway.
time. Good enough.
So we did promise we'd be doing charities and all and different things to raise money to send you guys to training events and do all kinds of cool stuff to give back to the industry. And now
Did
we can do that.
We
Go on.
did send some people. To
Yeah, but
vision.
now we
We're
can
do
do
some more. We're
Yeah.
going hardcore
Yeah, we're gonna do
now.
more. Yeah.
We're in
We're
third
going
gear
hard.
right now, not first gear anymore. Third gear.
Yeah, third gear. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure can. Let me share the right one.
not that one. That one's and
Not
that
the
one's
Pornhub
so-
one.
All right, our website. You see that?
Gosh,
guy?
that was years ago when we were all skinny.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Tommy lost like 100 pounds, and I'm the same.
Oh yeah.
I found it.
I think I even lost a little bit of weight from there. Bryn looks like everybody's grandpa.
He's got a gun in his hand there. What are you doing with your finger?
I don't. It's hard to even recognize Parkins with no beard.
Double guns. Oh wow, yeah.
You went full Amish is what happened.
You don't want me to pull up the pictures from our original
Is this
vision
it?
trip.
This
do
is
you?
the announcement.
I'm
We're
proud of
just gonna
him,
show
too.
pictures of us from
Oh,
five
you
years
slow
Our
down.
website. That was it.
So
So
Lizard,
you're
lizard.
sharing your case study, by the way, Brian.
I will. Wait, I
No, but
am?
you're sharing your case study right now.
Yeah, on
No.
YouTube, we're looking at your case study.
Oh,
Oh, what the? All right.
How is that working? Like,
Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Yeah. Things are happening.
Highly trained professionals here.
Guys. This is totally put together really well.
All right, so they can
I thought
see
you
it.
guys knew what you were doing. I got it.
We do,
yeah.
but
You should have waited to congratulate
We're
us
making
and tell
this
us
up.
how proud of us you were.
Yeah.
I was the only one that's been drinking.
all
But
right, so they can see our screen, but you guys can't. Okay.
There we go.
JK, you look like you're going skydiving.
So
Skydiving?
on our website, on the main page, if you scroll down just a little bit, there is this sweepstakes that we have here. You
Sweepstakes.
click on the Find Out More button, and you come up to a new page. Okay.
Did you say sweepstakes?
Yeah, sweet steaks, like porterhouse.
Poorhouse or porterhouse?
What?
So there's
somebody-
34 days remaining on the sweepstakes, and what is it, Chris?
So Opus was kind enough to get us a Pico to auction off that I have. Hold on, in the box.
So they donated a badass.
Not just a Pico. What? Go on. It's not just a Pico.
It is a special edition, like
Hold on.
stealth model.
Yeah.
Black.
They can't see you, Chris. They can see.
No, I'm getting over there. Hold on.
Getting over
Okay.
where? On Brian's screen?
Giggity. Well, I have it over on my desk.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome if he showed up next to
We did that one.
Brian's kids.
Walks up out of the frozen lake.
Oh, they can't see Brian kids.
No,
so
they
that
can't
doesn't-
see that. So.
Oh shit!
We'll come right back to your screen, Chris. But go
How
on.
is it that we're still seeing the wrong screen on this?
It's on
but
it's on YouTube.
Because
they
it's
can
a whole-
see it,
it's a whole
right?
thing.
Okay.
You gotta pretend.
Gotta imagine.
You use imagine. It's going great. Don't worry.
It's,
Don't worry.
it's
Keep
the
on going.
best.
So what? Yeah, what this is a Opus IVS. It's an Autologic branded black Picoscope standard kit. Comes with everything, but it's black
It's
and
the
awesome.
4425
Is it tactical?
standard kit. Yeah.
It's tactical.
Tactical.
4425, which you can't even get
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
which
you can't
is
even get
pretty
things.
awesome.
Especially
Hey, does it? Any of you guys using the 4425A yet?
Yeah, I'm using Brins all the time.
What do you think of it, honestly?
I like it.
I never tried. I never
I-
had my hands on one.
I like
For
it.
the
I
like
like
the
it.
for the like
I
the
like
7 days that I had it, it was amazing.
What do you mean? What happened? What'd you do with it? You didn't plug
It
it
was
into a wall,
sent to
did you?
me. No,
You gave it away.
It sent to me, and I did do a video on it. Then I sent it to other people who have not done a video with it.
We will. All right. So how do we get this?
Wait, I
thing?
did one. I did do one video with it,
So-
didn't I?
So
Yeah,
how?
but anyway.
So Brian, how does one register to win said black Picoscope 4425?
Below those pictures is the instructions. It says for every $10 donation, you get one entry. And guess what? That means the likelihood of you walking away with this is pretty good because you can donate. For every $10 you donate is one entry. So if you donate like 10 times $100, that is 10 entries to win.
Hey, if I donate $100, will you guys hand out? Can you like split that up like randomly to somebody?
I can
I'll
put you
tell
in
you
there.
what.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Like
I
give
can-
out free?
Sure. I'll figure out a way somehow.
Okay, cool.
I tell you what, Brandon, if you want to this weekend, if you want to donate $100 to me,
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna
Weekend?
give you $100.
I will
He'll
eat
be at the
a
blackjack
hell of a-
table.
I'll eat a hell of a dinner.
Honestly, I'm serious. I'd like to do that. I'd like to if you can give away, put 10 in the hat.
Cool, done.
Yeah, Mike Robinson, you are not allowed to enter. That's in the rules. The official rules is here. It says Mike Robinson cannot enter.
Crap,
Then you
I
can-
just
then you
bought
can
50.
sell it.
Or Mike Robinson's dog, Mike Robinson. He cannot answer. So
Why are we not blessed with Mike Robinson's?
his head,
His light,
The top-
the light in his kitchen.
the top of his head, or his funny laugh. So can you show what it looks like to donate and where we go to donate, Brian?
I did. Yeah.
It's
I'll
right
do-
there.
I'll do it
It's
again.
awfully small.
You click add to cart, and it'll pull up PayPal, and you can change the quantity you want. If you want to buy, if you want to buy 10 of them, which is $100, you can just choose the quantity of 10, and then go ahead and check out. Pretty simple.
And it comes with the low and the high amp clamp and all that?
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, it comes with
Nice.
the low. Hold on, let me
Is
look at the
that-
box.
Is that window supposed to be that small?
That's what she said.
Oh, that only we see that, Brandon.
Oh, okay, good. See,
On YouTube, they're seeing it
Yeah.
full size.
So yeah, it comes with a whole low amp clamp, high amp clamp, 2 attenuators, the back probes, all the good stuff. The
Nice.
it comes with it's the standard kit, right? So it comes with all your secondary leads, your wand, fuse loops, all the good stuff.
Hmm.
And Brandon will even fly out and teach you how to use it.
So again, it's $10. Pretty much anyone with $10 can enter. So that's one reason why we did it, just to make it.
Wow, Mike
appealing
says
to
if
anyone.
he wins, he'll donate his to a needy person. It's 45.25A.
Just
Wow.
gonna-
So
Oh.
here, this
Thanks,
is
Mike.
it right here. This is sexy. And it's
We don't
All we
see
see
it,
is
and I love it.
Samuel.
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
you're,
Your
you're not
background.
wrong there either. That works too.
yeah. Let me turn Sam off.
Looks
Hold
like you
on.
got your hands on Samuel's ears. Like, what is he doing to you?
That's what she said. Let's see.
Hey,
Let's do.
Brian, Joe Mama's asking how many tickets for sale. Did we ever set a
How
I
many
think
what?
it's-
limit or?
It's based upon time. If you go to the
Oh, okay.
website, there's a timeline. When that time is up, is when the
Alright,
charity sweepstakes
Much better,
ends.
Chris.
So isn't this beautiful? Ooh,
Let me
hold on.
spotlight you.
Can I,
Hang on.
yeah. Can I Vanna?
There we
Can I
go.
Vanna? Here we go. Here we go.
Gotta-
Here we go.
There you
Ooh.
go. Very nice.
And Chris has
Look,
touched it,
look,
so
look.
you'll get to.
Look. Ooh, hold on.
So we're sorry
on.
about that.
There we go. We go over here.
We will not be liable
Channel
for any
B now
diseases
no
you
longer
catch.
works.
Hey, you know,
Channel B works really well. What are you talking about?
we could depreciate it by like signing it or something, can't we?
It even
Oh,
it
they,
even-
they're gonna want
it
their
even
money.
comes with-
Hey, they're gonna want their money back.
it even comes with a 9-volt battery
It's
that is
already-
How
guaranteed
do you
to
know?
go
Wait,
dead if
how do you
leave
know
it
that battery is good, Chris?
on.
He stuck it to
you wanna
his-
look it?
That's what I was
put his
waiting
use
for him to
scope
do
on
it
it.
live.
I'm telling you, a Prince Albert can be painful.
He just
let me
recovered
tell
from COVID, so no worries, guys.
you. Yeah, it's got all the goodies in there, man. This little wand that's like really ridiculous to use. It's got this guy.
Oh.
Secondary one, awesome.
Yeah, it's got a wand. It's got hold on. It's got like oh, these are the best. These little
Oh man, that's a
Center
good
table?
kit. Good night,
Yeah,
man.
nice.
Coil
Yeah.
and plug extensions, awesome.
hell yeah.
That's what the hell? That's called a standard kit?
Hey,
It's
why don't
yeah,
like
you
an
it's
pick
advanced
something
kit
up?
or something.
Well, this is the black standard kit.
Oh.
You know, it's bigger.
The tactical. It's tactical.
I
It's
kind of
got
want to win that now.
yeah. It's got the nice back rub kit with the repinnable back probes. These guys are my favorite though. Yeah, these guys right here. I love these guys.
Oh, I hate those.
I'm-
You never put them back in the box. It's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Drives
a
me
one-time
crazy.
box. Once you open it, it's over.
I just dump mine and step on the lid until it shuts, and then I
How many clout points comes with it?
do what?
How
Quite
many
a few.
clout points do you get with it?
Even comes with the hook. That's what's up. I traded my hook in for a carabiner. I like a carabiner, but that's nice.
Show us the blackness again, Chris.
Want to see the blackness?
No,
Alright,
the
hold on.
scope, please. The scope.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I need 2 hands. It's pretty big. Here we go.
Darkness. Darkness.
That
It's
is a
so
beaut.
it's so pretty, and it's black all over. Even under. It's beautiful.
I can't say it. I so never mind. Never mind.
It's a beaut. It's quite nice. It's very girthy. It's very you need 2 hands to hold it.
That's very good. Very good.
So yeah,
Very kind of Kevin to
Yeah. well, what's cool
Uh,
about Kevin is he kind of loves what we do, and he likes to
Mike in
support
chat was
whatever we
mentioning
can.
that the current probe is powered by the unit. No, this is not a 4425A. This is a 4425. So this requires the conventional 9-volt battery powered low amps. It does
No.
not have the probe identification features that the 4425A has. So still an awesome scope. It's just
That
the
was probably
generation
my fault,
just
Brian.
before that.
I asked about the A before.
Well,
I probably,
no, I mean,
probably confused
obviously the
everybody.
A's got the benefits, but some benefits, but I don't know. This is cool. You can't even get the 4425 anymore. Pretty sweet kit, man. Especially all the
Yeah,
accessories.
it is pretty. I'm gonna put it back in the box just so you guys know to go back in the box and be shipped out. It's brand new in box. I totally opened it.
Oh wow.
But yeah. Oh yeah, Brandon. To maintain your innocence and everything, when you put a chat in Zoom, everybody sees it. Learned that one the hard way. He turned purple.
Hey, I just bought one on PayPal, Brian, and it worked fine for me. So
Yeah, I have a few.
Ben V says he feels like he's partying to a crime now.
So PayPal worked for me, guys.
PayPal
I'll donate my ticket I just bought to somebody who's in the chat right now.
Yeah, Richard Falco, you won. Just kidding.
Hey, where did you do that at?
No thanks, I got Brid's 4425A.
Rich, where'd you make that purchase?
I went to trainbytext.com.
What browser did you use?
And it was Chrome. I was using Chrome.
At Chrome, though. What happened?
I don't know.
So yeah, please donate away, because again, all the money that we get for this, it all goes back into sending y'all for training. Did you just roll a beer can, Rich?
No.
It sounds like you're
water.
A water can.
Jake
I don't drink water anyway.
He threw his behind him, and you could hear it hit the rest of the beer cans.
In the back of the Ambo.
You didn't let all the new smell out, did you? It's still got some new smell in
No, and there's still some smoke left. I attached two of the channels to the to my wall outlet. It'll be on them to find out which two channels. No, this one I really did not want to open it. Brian made me take pictures of it, so it's open. But
I had to, man.
The black rubber is still supple and smooth, and it's beautiful, and it's just
Supple rubber. All right.
Yeah. So that was fun, guys. So yeah, again, so all the proceeds, all the donations, that all gets used to send people to training, and just help out the industry whatever way we can.
Which tab,
thank
real
you.
quick?
Thank you.
I'm on a website. Which tab?
Right in the middle there.
The home page.
Yeah, when
Oh, the home?
On the home page.
When you're
Yeah,
on the
scroll down.
home page, there is a
Ah, how about that? I just got to read.
big old blue button. And there is a
I'm
tab as well that says Pico.
Oh man, it says here you're offering cookies. Oh no, website cookies. No.
Yeah, you have to accept my
outside.
cookies.
Giggity. You make them fresh.
Cool. So,
Adrian, just what I missed. Adrian, we're raffling off a Pico. Go to our website. Trainbytext.com.
Wait a minute. Are we raffling or are we sweepstakesing?
Yeah.
Same difference.
What is the way that does not get us in trouble with other people in the industry?
This is
because they're
It
doing
doesn't
good things?
matter. Those people are going to try to make trouble no matter what. We're following the law. So
Okay.
what
Okay,
some dummy
thank you.
says on YouTube, we're not worried about. And I mean me by that. All right. Dallas wants to know what the case study is. I agree.
So he's telling you to shut up.
Okay. My turn?
It is.
I just want
is.
to tell Brandon how good he's looking, by the way. I mean, I just want to say it again. He's looking distinguished as fuck right now.
Me?
Okay,
He actually
moving on.
doesn't
Yeah.
have gray in his beard. He dyes that.
He just puts it in there so he looks distinguished.
And then I open my mouth and start talking.
Put your glasses on, Brandon.
I have
Oh yeah, do the glasses. Dude, I need to finish. Put the glasses on.
Gosh, I don't think I can be here.
Nobody's watching anyway. It's okay.
All right.
Just the
So
people that can get us in trouble. All right, sorry about that.
let me
Moving
move.
on.
That's not true. Both of our viewers are highly entertained right now.
All
Man, what
three
you
of them.
got for us, bro?
I'm pulling it up now.
So
You're pulling it out.
Alan in the chat asked, "Does the money go to charity?"
100%.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, all that money goes into sending people full boat to training events, classes, providing. We give it back to the industry.
Yeah, to
We
be
keep
clear,
nothing.
we don't make money doing this. This is
Yeah, none of these
100%.
clowns take this money home. None of them.
What? I quit. Just kidding.
These clowns actually pay our own money to make this
Yeah,
shit
actually,
happen.
it costs money.
Yeah.
We are not doing this to make extra money. We're not taking on horrible parts companies to fund our retirement. We are doing this to give back to the industry only.
What? What?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
Nothing. I was amused by that. Gee, what's Brian got now?
I'm
Let's
gonna P0017.
No,
No.
no 00s. All right, I have. Are we
What's
ready?
that orange bar?
I
What's
don't
that orange
know.
bar? And it says two.
It's a template that.
That's
PowerPoint.
that's fanciness. Brian's got some fanciness on
It's
his
a minus.
PowerPoint.
You know, this is not a plus.
So it's like
definitely a minus.
difficulty level. Orange.
difficulty level minus.
It's orange.
I love how we make nothing out of nothing. This is great.
All right, so this
I'm
is
going to get another
a
beer for this.
this is a 2008 Suzuki XL7, which is basically like a Chevy Equinox, Pontiac Torrent, Saturn Vue type thing. Slightly different because it's a Suzuki, and we're going to go over that. But the car came in. Customer concern was that the check engine light was on. I'm going to start off and admit right away that I had no intentions of making this a case study. This was just the photos that I do have that are genuinely mine were pictures that I just sent a couple friends of mine when I was trying to figure it out. So there was no intentions of me making something on a production level. So it's rough. And a lot of the photos I have on here on this case study are ones that I basically stolen offline. Which
What?
I was gonna say
What?
this is not your car right here.
So I'm going to start off with the code scan.
That's awesome.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
Wait,
code,
where are the cartridges?
I did.
I just
You're a
noticed that.
liar.
That's
They're
why
the
it wouldn't
eight-track
work. No. All right, so right away, I did a full system scan with my scanner.
You cranked it
You
up.
couldn't even do a full system
Are we-
scan with that thing.
Are we raffling this off too?
That's what the
Def-
loser gets.
It's a consolation prize.
I got my candy module out. Put the good card in it. We're gonna get it done.
My candy.
Guys, for those of you who might be a little too young, who were born not too long ago, this is what used to be a scan tool.
It's
We
a
still
great
use
scan
it.
tool for the cars.
This is the
that-
last good scan tool Snap-on made.
Oh man, come on.
Some of my best
Fired.
customers still use this tool. Don't hate on it.
All right, so moving on. The codes that I did have, which I don't have documented, as you can see, I had to fudge this.
You know what I love about this is that the dial goes all the way through the tool. Sorry.
Wait, now I gotta look.
We're not getting it done. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Brian.
All right, let Brian get back to his intake, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. Start an intake. All right, so we have a mass airflow circuit code. We have lean on bank 1, lean on bank 2. You would think possibly there's a mass airflow problem. You would maybe possibly think there's an intake leak. We're going to get into that. So, right away, lean or rich. I want to talk about lean or rich.
That is lean rich, actually.
yeah. I was gonna say,
Are they
I wanna talk
calling
about
you
Rich for a
chubby?
second, though. That's a Rich.
That is my best Billy Mays.
Billy
Rich.
Mays.
You,
It's the
you're
only
looking
picture I had on my
affable right
computer
now.
of you.
You are looking positively affable right now.
No, you
So-
look like
Brandon.
Crocodile Dundee when he puts the cow to sleep.
You're the one who needs glasses now, Chris.
When I want to ask you guys a question. When I tell you that this car is running 20% lean, what does that mean? When a technician comes up to you and says it's running 20% lean, what does that mean to you?
Is this for us, or are we waiting on
You
Chad?
guys.
Oh,
Oh, we're adding fuel.
Chad has a delay,
We're
so
adding
20%.
20% fuel.
means he's been eating his Wheaties and doing his sit-ups.
So lean, which is less fuel, equals a positive number, right? It took you
Less
like,
fuel or more air, right?
You know,
Yeah,
and
both.
some people screw that up. They a lot.
and that's
You
why
say-
that's what
Oh,
kind of what I'm
it's my pet peeve.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm explaining this. This is a pet peeve of mine as well, and I think Rich knows
Yeah.
where I'm going with this. When you hear lean or rich and you're talking about fuel trims stop saying that. I would like to.
They'll go.
I would
they'll
like.
go
I would like to hear like fuel correction. I have a positive fuel correction. I have a negative fuel correction. If that's the lingo that everyone uses, I think universally we'll all have a better understanding of what actually what is actually happening.
Yeah, you know, once we get that 20% and the thing starts stabilizing, technically it's probably running as clean as it would be if there was no trim.
Yeah, 20% fuel correction in any direction doesn't mean that it's truly running lean or rich. I mean, you could definitely be in fuel control and it still runs beautifully. So it's not
Rich,
lean.
Rich, were you dyeing your beard back then?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You look skinnier back then too.
I guess if you really look at it that way, if you say it's not running 20% lean, because if it's correcting it, then it's actually running Llama 1.
You're at Stoic.
Or Stoic. So so it's not running anything but perfect.
So that's just kind of where I'm getting at is if you're trying to explain to someone a fuel trim, try to keep in the back of your head fuel correction is the word. One thing I love about the eScan, the ATS eScan, is they blatantly say out loud that there is a positive or negative fuel correction in the software.
28 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, and I like that because that's genuinely what's happening. It's a fuel correction based upon the base fuel map for that given scenario.
Yeah, that's my pet peeve is when guys, the fuel trim's rich. No, the fuel trim is either positive or negative.
Yeah.
It's not rich. It's not lean. Yeah.
And that's basically what I'm getting at. It's a little pet peeve of mine. It has nothing to do with my case study, but I want.
Does it weird you out, Rich, when you say your name when you're talking drivability?
Things running pig rich.
Usually when they're talking about me, they're talking about timing, and I'm not advanced. Funny. Let's put it that way.
Wait up. They are technically running lean though if they're like the one Falco had me look at, and I just yell at him, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" Because it was like 25. It was like positive 25, positive 25.
Yeah, at that point, when you're out of fuel control, yes, you can actually be running. But
like, no fuel, no fuel.
Well, let's
stop
move on.
Power breaking it.
Let's move on. So we get into our
please get me off that screen.
Getting into the data really quick. On bank 2, we are heavily positive. I have 28% correction at idle, positive correction. So I'm adding 28% fuel at idle on only bank 2. On bank 1, I only have a total correction of 10% at idle. Now when you're cruising down the road, both banks will trend negative and they move to approximately 5% while you're cruising. So right away in my head I'm thinking I have an intake leak. When manifold pressure has less vacuum in it, you have a less chance for a leak, and your trims are going to adapt to that. There's also mass airflow code. So while I'm looking at scan data, I'm going to do a quick VE test because I have a mass airflow code. So if you've never done a VE test before, ATG has a really good VE calculator. You basically have to pull up these PIDs, your RPM, mass airflow grams per second, intake air temperature, and the barrel. Do a wide open throttle pull, 1-2 shift is what I usually like to do, like on an on-ramp to an expressway. And then at your peak RPM, make note of the readings of the mass airflow and RPM and all these data PIDs.
Hey, can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
If you saw, can you go back one screen?
Yep.
If you saw 28% correction on one bank and 10% correction on the other bank, in my mind, I'd automatically rule out a mass airflow sensor because I'd assume that would affect both banks.
Sure.
That's just my thought.
I'm on a test drive. I'm going to do the VE calc real quick, just to rule that out. That's all. Nice. That's the only reason I did it, just to rule it out. And I also had a mass airflow code, so I just wanted to just prove it.
You were adding short terms and long terms together in that, right?
Yeah, that is total trim. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think that gets explained enough. Because a lot of people think that long terms don't matter.
Yeah, long-term and short-term combined equals total trim, and that's what this number is. Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes rear trim.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll need to worry about that.
All right, so I'm going to do a smoke test, right? I'm going to grab...
The man, the myth, the legend.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm grabbing my smoke machine. You know, JK's already on me. He wants me to smoke this thing. He thinks this thing...
It's intake gaskets.
Hey, it's easy to rule out. Why not?
Yeah, honestly it is. And what I had done, I took the...
Hey, by the way, I fought with mine. Legitimately thought it was broke for a good 5 minutes.
The hose
Before I realized,
You got to connect it to the battery.
The hose
before I
pinch in the
realized the
back?
battery in the car was at 7.6 volts.
There you go. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna smoke this thing. I ended up going at the purge solenoid fitting, and I smoked the intake. I pulled the intake duct off to cap off the throttle body, and in the process,
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I don't have that picture, man.
I'm kidding.
So I'm smoking this thing. I don't see any leaks at all. And as I'm looking for leaks, the yellow plastic cap right here pops off. So there's enough pressure in that intake to actually blow the cap off. So in my mind, that means if I have enough pressure to blow that off, there's a good chance there's no leaks. I don't see any leaks. This thing keeps blowing off. There's no leaks.
Happy, JK?
I go further. I take my
No, it's still an
propane.
intake gasket.
I take my propane and my one-barrel carburetor, and I'm checking.
I was gonna say on your one barrel.
And you float that right next to the
and you set
secondary
the
ignition
intake
leak.
fire again. Dude, I was thinking about that the other day. I was on a walk and I almost wet my pants. When you set that intake on fire. Sorry, Brian.
Alan asked if this is dual cats. This actually is. There is 4 O2 sensors on this car, 2 upstream, 2 downstream of the cat. Yeah, so there are 2 cats. Yes.
He's the real cat lady.
I don't have as much data as I'd like because, again, I wasn't planning on making this a case study. I wish I did, but I don't.
Probably wouldn't be looking at, we got 95% VE. Probably,
it's
breathing.
breathing.
Well.
Yeah, good point. It's breathing. So again, I take propane around the intake. There is no response. I'm looking for a response on my oxygen sensors, on my fuel trims, on the RPM. I'm looking for some type of response while doing this, and there's none. So I'm thinking if I have an idle problem only, maybe I have an injector spray pattern issue. Maybe the spray pattern at idle is not correct, and it's poor atomization, and it's just dripping out the injector on one injector or something. So I wanted to do a real quick injector balance test with a scan tool. I already have my top down out. That's what I've used to scan the vehicle, and I go and find the special function to run this test, and the top down says it has this test. I click on it to begin the test, and the scan tool goes into like a mouse click frenzy. I hear the cursor going ding, 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 like it's trying to click.
Is this GDI, by the way?
It is
I
not.
assume
This
it
is
No?
port fuel.
Oh, port fuel.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, that didn't work. I ended up restarting the scan tool. I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I tried it one more time, and again, it failed the same way. So I grabbed my Varus, which is right next to this. The Varus, when I get to that special function to begin this injector balance test, and if you're not familiar with the GM balance test, what usually happens is you'll prime the fuel system, the fuel pump will turn on, and then the fuel pump will shut off, and then you can choose one of the injectors to command and then record the fuel pressure drop after that injector has ran. The snap-on will operate the fuel pump, and then when you get to the point of commanding the injector, nothing happens. You can choose it. It looks like it's working on the scan tool, but there's nothing actually happening on the car. The injectors are not being controlled. So I'm like, all right, well, that didn't work either. I got a little bit further. It at least tried to prime the fuel pump, but the injectors it didn't get commanded. So I still want to test these injectors. So I grab my Tech 2. This is an example of what it looks like on a Tech 2. when I build the vehicle and I get to the special function into the Tech 2, this function isn't there. It doesn't exist in the Tech 2. So I'm like, okay, it's not possible with the scanner. But what I can do, you can pull the injectors out and do a little balance test like this. I've seen Scott Brown do this a couple times. It's pretty cool. I don't have this tool. I can't do that. But that would be kind of neat. What I ended up doing is using the snap-on scan tool to prime the fuel pump, and then I manually grounded each one of the injectors to record the fuel pressure drop. This capture
Use like the little box that has like the 500 millisecond pulse, or what did you do?
Well, the thing is, I didn't have one at the time. This was actually me manually grounding it, so the pulse width isn't identical, but I did my best to make sure it was. But anyways, this capture is 2 minutes long, so just to put a little perspective of what you're looking at, this is 2-minute capture here. In the beginning, the fuel pump will prime, and then the fuel pump shuts off, and then right here is where I am grounding that injector myself to record the fuel pressure drop. And you can see every single fuel injector, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is all within 1 psi. And keep in mind, this is me grounding that injector. It's not a fixed control. You know, it's me doing it. So I'm going to have some variance in there. But if I'm within 1 psi, there's a good chance, in my opinion, that fuel injector is not the problem with this car.
Dude, that's pretty good. You're
Pretty impressive,
spot
man.
on there.
Yeah. I've never done that because I assumed that would.
If I didn't say, the blue capture is me using the WPS on the fuel rail, and the red capture is the control side of the injector. Just to be clear on what you're looking at. So that's what I had done. Every single injector dropped the same, pretty much the same exact PSI drop. I'm no longer interested in fuel injectors. I'm moving on. So now what?
Stuff.
I end up packing my bags. I'm taking my talents to a different car. I'm going to take a break on this one. I'm going to get up, grab my shit, and I'm out of here.
So tan.
I just went to Punta Cana, so damn.
Punta Cana?
Anyways, next to this car that I'm working on is a Buick with the same exact engine that I'm replacing with a Jasper Reman.
Let's go back to the other one.
So I'm going to take a break on the 136, and I'm going to go work on another one to take a break on this one. So as I'm putting this engine back into this Buick, I happen to look over at the Suzuki that we're talking about, and I had noticed that there was oil on the ground where I had taken off this intake duct. A whole bunch of oil. And it wasn't the oil that you see here in the photo. This is just a picture of oil. It was oil like this inside the intake duct. It was like creamy, watery milkshake goo inside the intake duct.
This is a really bad picture, Brian.
It is a bad picture. This picture is not mine. I stole it. 100%.
Any of this legit?
There's a Facebook group I'm in that I think this picture could go in, but I'm not tagging that group in this.
So let's think about this. If I add, if the engine is sipping on this oil that's in this duct, that's hydrocarbons, right?
You would think so.
If the engine's eating additional hydrocarbons, it's going to have a negative fuel trim correction, right? I have a positive fuel trim correction.
But is it hydrocarbons though? It's some in there.
It's a milky, watery goo.
Mostly water.
Which goo is this though? I thought this was on the
Brian?
It could be that peanut butter beer that you're drinking. I don't know.
Brian.
Is this the Buick or is this the Suzuki? I'm confused now.
This was on the Suzuki.
This is
Brian,
the Suzuki.
is the PCV valve biased to the suspect bank?
We're gonna get into that. Let me. That's in the next slide. So.
Okay.
You blew it.
What I ended up. No, he didn't. What I ended up doing before I did anything else on this car was just clean that shit out of the intake duct. I put it in my solvent tank. I got all that oil out of the intake duct, and then I put it back together in the same manner I had it before. Nothing was replaced, nothing was apart other than this duct, and it was cleaned. Now I have fuel trims that are long-term swings back to zero. Short-term is hunting zero. I have positive 4% right there, and it's.
Where you going? Is this a literal mic drop?
Brian's quitting in the middle of the case study.
I'm still here.
And this is when I run away because it was an intake gasket. But I
No, man.
Wait, hold on. Did you just leave in the middle of you presenting your case?
I'm here.
He's got a wireless
I
mic.
need a drink, man. They didn't even know. Only ones that knew that I left was you guys. So just relax.
Well, we made sure everyone knew.
You know what's great about having
Type
a
it in
bad
chat.
memory is that I actually knew about this and I totally forgot, and I'm getting surprised by this case study. It's pretty
I
awesome.
feel left out because I wouldn't spend enough time with you guys. I don't know about this one.
So back to my question: how does oily, sticky, yucky, watery stuff in the intake cause trims to go positive
But,
on
so
one
you
bank
said,
only?
But you said intake tube. Was it the rubber flex tube that you're talking about
Mhm.
on that one?
Yeah. The duct. Yeah,
But
this guy.
both banks should share that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless
yeah.
the oil
Unless the
happens. Unless this picture here. Maybe the oil comes through this duct and is traveling along one of these intake runners, and only one cylinder is really sipping on that additional.
But you didn't
oil.
clean the intake.
I didn't clean the
You just
intake.
cleaned the runner. You just cleaned the tube.
The duct.
But you did clean those intake gaskets that were originally.
I didn't. All right, so
Little old copper RTV, dude.
So I'm thinking to myself, what could cause this excess oil to be in the duct? Brandon mentioned PCV.
Just a thought. Yeah.
This PCV nipple that you're looking at right here is not a valve. It's actually an orifice that's in the rear valve cover.
It's very phallic. I think we're going to get struck down for showing that we're going to get the duct screen.
We need that orange bar.
Can you blur that, please?
So this nipple is actually completely blocked. If I take this, if you can see my cursor, if I take this vacuum line that goes to that nipple off of the valve cover, and then put my thumb on the other line right here on the other valve cover to basically stop all flow, the crankcase pressure with the engine running should be flowing out of that orifice like crazy. But nothing
pressure.
There, yeah, exactly. That pressure should be building in the crankcase and wanting to push out this orifice, but nothing is happening. It's actually pushing my thumb off of the valve cover. So I'm like, okay, that orifice is definitely clogged.
But you did not clean the orifice before the fuel trims got better.
I didn't. Absolutely 100% did not. All I did was clean that duct and then drive it. My fuel trims came right down to hunting zero. Long and short. But I wanted to fix the problem of that oil being in the duct by cleaning this orifice.
Was that your picture of the scan tool?
Yeah, you stole that.
Yes, this was mine.
But you didn't take
I actually
you
sent
didn't
this
take
photo
the
to
intake
Brent.
off though,
You
right?
can see at the bottom here it says 2008 Suzuki XL7. So this
Well,
is
no,
my
I'm just saying
capture.
because I'm just saying
Wait a minute.
because you have a hard and fast rule about sharing screenshots.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Again, this was not me.
I gave him a hard time, Chris. I gave him a hard time about that a week ago, and he's like, "Well, that was your picture."
It was.
I made fun of him for sending me a picture of a Snap-on screen, and he was like, "Well, that's one you sent me 2 years ago."
So, did you ever take the intake off of it?
To get these valve covers off, yes, I had to. But the trims were already corrected.
Okay, so the trims are corrected before that.
Yes.
So you're at
Brian
4 and
doesn't
3.
take anything apart. Brian has guys that do that for him.
I do. I absolutely do work on cars. This intake manifold has to come off to get those valve covers off. This is with the intake manifold removed. I have drawn in basically how the lines are set up. This is the front valve cover right here. The nipple that runs to this line feeds the the intake duct, and then the other one is where the orifice is. This blue line goes to the intake manifold.
No, I thought the red stood for where the fire starts, and the blue is where you try to put it out.
See, I was gonna explain, if you go back here, the fuel injectors, right here. I was gonna say we could just pull the fuel rail and crank it.
Can I cue something real quick?
Go ahead.
Hold on, I got all excited. I'm fumbling.
All right. Anyways, so that's how it's set
Hold
up.
on, Brian. Hold on. Can you do me a favor? Can you just let me share the screen real quick so I can just calm Brandon
we can do
down?
that later.
Don't ruin the case study. Say car ramrod. Say car ramrod.
So I ended up pulling out the valve covers to inspect that orifice and clean the orifice, because I can't just stick a pick down the orifice tube and expect to clear it out, because it doesn't. I can't get a pick down it. I tried. So I pull the valve cover, and you can see the head and see all the deposits that's inside that head. You can tell this thing was not maintained well. They haven't done their oil changes like they should, which makes sense why the valve cover looks like this. This video is me cleaning the orifice.
You stole this, or you
This is actually me.
I remember watching this video. Brian gets pretty aggressive here.
Yeah, I'm cleaning the shit.
That's his only
That's off the
fans.
PCB orifice.
with the GM tool.
That's a little primer.
Oh,
You're
that's
not
Macco's brand new pry bars.
Yes, I
right?
just got
Pocket
them.
pry bars.
Uh-huh.
Dang, that's nasty looking, man.
That's what she said. That
So
sounds. That
I ended up
crazy.
cleaning this whole valve cover as best as I could.
What'd that pay?
Uh,
Kidding.
Yeah, the cleaning time wasn't built into the labor guide, so I didn't get that.
I love how you're covering that hole. It's nice.
So I ended up grabbing a terminal tool to poke the hole.
I like how you're bringing us with you for every part of this.
Like when he goes to get a beer, just leave.
So I'm sticking
How
it
much
in
was
and
a
out.
valve cover?
Hold on. Well, that was graphic. Do it again. Oh,
This just
God.
got the rating just changed on this.
How long did you spend cleaning this valve cover?
I don't
Right
know.
now, just then, 5 minutes.
When it was done, was it
I'll-
Brian clean or was it just me?
You'll find out if you haven't learned yet. I'm extremely anal about the way clean parts go back together.
How much was a new valve cover?
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. But I didn't know I needed one when it was apart.
Because on the LS, like on the GM stuff,
Yeah,
the trucks, you just buy a new valve cover.
Sure. Yeah, like even the Ecotechs. Yeah, the plastic valve covers. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a dormant LS valve cover once. I went to tighten it up and the valve cover bolts popped.
So that's what the orifice
quality
looks.
product.
That's what the orifice looks like on the inside of the valve cover. There's two little holes, so that explains why.
You should have drew like a smiley face on it.
This explains why I couldn't stick a pick down the outside hole, because there's two holes that I have to go through instead of one center hole. So that's why I couldn't pick it clean from the outside.
What she said.
Thanks, Chris.
Much happier valve cover. Oh,
So again, this is a video of the fuel trims after I got all done with the valve cover. It's just like before. Long-term 0, and I'm hunting 0 on short.
So like, no change. It was you found a problem with this no change.
I fixed why the oil was getting in the intake duct, and there should no longer be oil in the intake duct. But I don't have an explanation for why oil, milky, watery oil, can cause a bank-to-bank trim problem.
did the fuel trims, did the corrections go closer to 0 like almost instantly, or was
Yes.
it?
Yes.
I feel
I didn't even clear codes. I didn't clear fuel trims. I didn't do anything. I put the duct on after I cleaned it, and I drove it.
I'm wondering because that goo. I mean, granted that wasn't the real goo, but it looked just like that, right? The
Mhm.
same consistency.
Yes, 100%.
That's more
Wait a
more
minute.
water. That's more water than oil.
That's
right?
true. That's not
Yeah.
that's not a genuine hydrocarbon. That's a watery milkshake slime.
There's a face in there too.
Well, with
worried
blow
face.
by,
You see the worried face?
I do.
is this GDI, Brian?
No, this is port fuel.
Okay. I'm
I
curious
was talking.
about.
I was talking with Brian about this before. I think this car had 2 problems, and I think blow by was one of the problems. But I think the other issue is, I don't think that's. I think that's water. No, I think it's water has something to do with the mixture, causing it to be lean.
Like fuel saturation in the
How many?
crankcase?
Yeah. How many miles are on this thing?
I don't think it was that many. I think less than 100.
Because I'm like, what was like Brandon was just saying, like fuel saturation in the oil, or just like
But he didn't change the oil.
I know, but he didn't change the oil. But the problem is you had so much of that oil in the If you had so much of that in the intake,
call that gasoline laying in the
But he cleaned the tube, and then immediately there's correction. I guess in your mind it's coming from the tube.
I'm wondering.
If it's in the tube.
I'm wondering if the water vapor, not the oil vapor, but the water vapor was attaching to the fuel, making it too heavy so it can't burn.
A couple slides. Go over to the end slide.
Well, because
the last slide. Last one.
I think the water vapor is just coming from where it was drawing moisture into the intake.
So was it negative fuel correction? I thought it was positive fuel correction.
I'm sorry. You're right. That's a typo.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put JK right on top of it.
Hold on. Let me fix that. Hold on.
They can't see it. Yeah, you're 100% right.
No, put rich.
Rich over it.
Rich.
A rich fuel correction.
Put lean rich on there. Everybody will be confused.
Wait, and I'll just start doing this.
So I made a mistake there. It's a positive fuel correction. So again, how does milky, watery, oily goo cause a positive fuel correction?
I'm thinking what when it's getting sucked into probably the one cylinder, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking, because you have the picture of this manifold here.
Yeah. See, it's getting sucked. So let me just annotate again, right? If you don't mind. So yeah, it's going through right here, right?
Right where?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going through right here, probably down to this cylinder right over here, maybe. Oh, yeah, your cylinder's here, right?
So maybe only one cylinder is eating that.
Exactly.
Goo.
And what I'm thinking is that vapor might be like attaching to the fuel, kind of like when you got E85 in there.
Yeah.
And it's making it not burn. It's not letting it burn correctly.
One thing that in the chat that I was discussing this prior to finding out what's wrong, JK mentioned to me that some GM cars have basically the flex fuel strategies built into them that you're not aware of. A lot of times you have a GM car that has alcohol content that has learned incorrectly, and simply relearning that correction or relearning that calculation fixes the car.
Yeah, but that should affect both banks equally.
Yeah, true.
I legit think it's the water in the oil is going into the one cylinder and messing with the fuel. It's got to be what it is, because it's only one bank, and bank 2 is the front on this one, right?
I don't know, man. Like, to me, if there's water vapor entering one cylinder, then that one cylinder, it's almost like having EGR in one cylinder, at least taking space, like in that cylinder that would normally be.
Well, I'm thinking if it kills combustion, you've got unburnt oxygen making its way to the Hegos.
Yeah.
Which will make it show lean and it'll correct rich.
And if it's biased to one bank, like you're stating. Brian, could you feel any kind of misfire or anything like that?
I did not. No.
Okay.
I was sitting there running normal.
No, it's basically a GM, so it's going to run so far out of spec. It's
But think of it like, how many of you guys have got burnt on a car that's been had flex fuel?
Speaking of burnt, I got this queued up, and 2,500 people have watched it. Just so.
Yeah, it is. I looked. It is your most highest viewed video, Brian, and I think I'm a good portion of those views.
No, well, I don't want to ruin this. No, Brian, this is a good case study, dude. I'm not there yet, man. I can't figure it out.
I'm not either. But the car's fucking fixed. It's been months since I worked on this thing. And
So let's recap.
The
Blazer
customer has come back. I've changed their oil. The check engine light is off. This thing it's fixed.
So
okay, can I? I was just going to say something.
Go
ahead, JK.
Go ahead, Bono.
If it's raw fuel, An O2 sensor is not going to, like an oxygen sensor, wideband, whatever. What should this have on? Did it have air fuel sensor or did it have an oxygen sensor?
This car has. I didn't explain that. I wanted to. This car has 4 oxygen sensors. There are. I have a picture of that. Why didn't I do that?
Typical Zerk.
Okay, so cool.
But oxygen sensors, they measure oxygen, not fuel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if raw fuel can go past the sensor.
This picture I skipped over. This picture here was the Buick that I was working on next door, not the Suzuki, not the case study car, the one I have next to it. This was an AFR car. It's got one air fuel ratio sensor that's responsible for both banks, and then it has a downstream O2 for catalyst monitors.
Pull up this intake picture again.
And the Suzuki that I'm working on has 4 oxygen sensors, so a different strategy.
And did it show any misfires on this thing?
No misfires.
Because what I could see is like maybe if it made it down to this first, this first cylinder, and then you had you totally messed up combustion in there. You had raw fuel going right into the exhaust. Raw fuel. So basically, whatever fuel was supposed to be there, it's raw fuel. So the sensor's not reading it. So therefore, it's saying, "Whoa,
well, hold on,
20% fuel."
If bunch of air,
I know he mentioned he didn't sense a misfire, but if we have no combustion, there's 14.7 times more.
Well, I don't think you have no combustion. I think you have incomplete combustion.
Right, so we're adding fuel. Is anybody monitoring chat? I'm curious if anybody's giving us input.
Everybody's kind of.
We've got a bunch.
I mean, I've seen a GM run on like 10% gas, 90% water. It ran like shit, but it ran.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are resilient. That's one of the things, like the fuel injection in GMs, like the AK-47 of the automotive industry. I mean, it just keeps on running.
But Brian, the bank 2 is the front bank on this one, right?
It's a GM, so left bank.
Draw me a 1 and a 2.
Left bank is probably bank 1, so front is probably bank 1. I didn't look this up. I can look
Mike said burning hydrogen off the water and left with oxygen in 1 and 2.
But Richard Cranium, which I love that name, says it still doesn't explain the mass airflow sensor code.
Yeah, honestly.
It's my favorite name.
What code was it again for the mass airflow?
Just a general 101 mass air.
Is that like flow rate per throttle angle per RPM?
I think so. Yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah.
Okay,
So,
but
is
it possible? Is it possible that the ooey gooey was just enough to disturbance at lower RPM to kind of affect the?
Here's my thought: at engine idle, low RPM, high manifold vacuum. If you had a PCV issue, as in you were flowing, your PCV was blocked.
Yeah.
Dang.
But
like Dylan says, there's an updated valve cover to address that. Did we look for TSPs? I'm sure you did, Brian.
I don't remember that.
But
do it now. I'll do it.
Is it possible? Is it possible that at a lower RPM that fluid that gunk that he found is so close to the mass airflow?
I got to ask a question. The guy that just suggested TSPs, I didn't hear the name. I'm sorry. If he knows, maybe he does. This valve cover replacement, I mean, what Brian found was a restricted PCV valve. In other words, I could see it being stuck wide open.
No, it's completely blocked.
Right.
Yeah.
In other words, no flow. I could see a PCV issue, I'll call it a wide open PCV, less restriction than should be there. We're going to have mass airflow correlation problems. We're going to have what a threshold is for a correlation for what MAF should be at idle said RPM. Excuse me.
Somebody want to pull up the code setting criteria?
Oh God,
I got it.
You got it?
For which code?
The 101? Was it a 101?
Yeah, I got it right here. PO 101.
What do you want to know?
I don't think it's going to give details. It's just going to say that like the airflow is not rational to the throttle angle or something.
Actually, conditions for setting the code. The ECM detects mass airflow sensor signal is less than 0.14 grams per second or greater than 278 grams per second, and the condition exists for 4 seconds or a cumulative of 50 seconds.
So 0.14?
That's it.
Oh, are
0.14.
Are you talking about trying to get a GM to throw a math code?
Yeah.
This code.
If you unplug it, that's about the only way it's ever.
Yeah,
gonna
but
throw
this
one.
isn't a circuit code. It's a rational code.
No,
Yeah,
that's
this-
what I'm saying. Like they have to be very vastly different.
So,
like,
so but
so
you
far
got
off
this.
you.
So if we go on to the theory that the water is being pulled into a cylinder causing an incomplete burn, not enough for a misfire, but an incomplete burn. Your engine is slightly less efficient, therefore your engine's gonna be pulling less air, causing that less than 1.4, 0.14 grams per second off of what it's.
No, I don't think it's 0.14 grams off. I think
No,
it's
it's
less than
below. Yeah,
0.14.
they're given a minimum and a maximum. It's
Like-
not a
like the
it's not
engine's
a
not even
rationality
cranking.
thing. And
Yeah.
Ben said earlier, he
basically out of
quoted it
range.
passed the VE test, right, Brian?
Yes, 95%.
But
Whoa.
the VE test is when the throttle's fully open.
When
and the
was the
match
freeze frame? Do you have freeze frame?
Good point.
I
Good
don't
point.
have that. Again, I wasn't planning on.
Yeah.
Got that thing. I'm looking at a 3.6 file right now. Hold on. What was the code? The
101.
math code?
101.
101.
I agree, Blazer.
Airflow.
Yeah, Hall and Oates, right?
101. There's the minimum ECT and ACT.
Hall and Oates. I always thought it was a bunch of guys driving a truck full of
Mass
oatmeal.
airflow. Fail low.
Hall and Oates. That's what I thought it was.
Hauling
For the
oats.
longest- That's what I thought. It's like bathing with toasters or something.
I think as somebody from Philly, you get kicked out of town for not knowing who Hall and Oates are, isn't
Oh,
it?
no, I was a kid. I didn't.
Wait,
No
did
great
it throw it
Reaping
through?
hay,
Did it throw a 101,
hoes,
Brian?
hay.
Yes, that was an original
Yeah.
code, right?
What are you doing, fool?
So James mentioned, what if the chances of this puddle of shit in the intake has been there for a long time, and basically this wasn't the root cause, and maybe I disturbed something during my testing. Maybe.
I mean, anything's possible.
Did you ever clean the math?
No, I did not.
But it don't matter because it was a one bank only issue.
I cleaned
So
the
the math
duct.
wouldn't matter.
I cleaned the duct, and I also cleaned the throttle body while the duct was off. That's all I did.
But I think that coolant, the water crap, is causing the engine to be slightly less efficient at idle when vacuum is higher, when it's sucking more of it out. And
I mean,
that's causing a problem.
We were talking
This-
about cylinder fill, like how if it is kind of biased to a couple cylinders, that it could cause, like it could, it could affect the cylinder fill on those cylinders potentially. Like at least maybe the way the air
Yeah,
is
but
going.
if you lower cylinder fill though, you're gonna
I'm gonna say lower cylinder fill, but like
if you
maybe
lower cylinder
more
fill, you would have
turbulence.
negative trim.
Are you talking about how the air tumbles in, or are you actually
Yeah.
talking about volume?
it's like the way it
Yeah,
tumbles
man.
in, the way it enters the
Like
cylinders.
disrupting combustion.
Yeah.
So who's got a car? Keith, I see you right there. You got a GM. Spray some water down your intake. See if it goes lean.
I'll go try it. Give me a
Just, seriously, Keith, do it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be happy to do that for you.
Make sure you add 5% oil to it.
Holy crap, you're gray, man.
I was just looking at you, Jimmy Neutron. Look at you.
What
up
the
with
hell happened?
the
to
poof?
you? When did you get here? I didn't even notice. Did you just pop in now?
Oh, I snuck in.
He's like
How
a
are
ninja.
things, my friend?
I snuck in. I heard something about a country hick in here, and
Oh God.
How's my buddy Rocco doing?
doing splendid. Thank you.
Good. You give everybody
Yeah.
my regards.
I will.
Thanks.
All right, so Keith, tell us what's wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to, guys. I was trying to listen to this in the background here as I was packing up for tomorrow, but this is interesting. So you guys have run that by me one more time. though,
Here's the
because-
rundown.
Yeah.
Adding a ton of fuel to one bank, adding 10% to the other at idle. You accelerate a bit, everything kind of smooths out. Brian found a totally restricted PCV orifice and a bunch of nastiness in the intake duct.
Your water oil mix.
Yeah, the
Mud.
snotty water oil mix oil slick.
But he
All
didn't
he-
fix the
Yeah.
PCV.
All he did was
orifice.
clean the intake tube, put it back together, and it was the trims were perfect. They went
So-
down on their own.
We were wondering if maybe just the way go back to that intake picture, just the way the intake's configured was a few of the cylinders sucking up the nastiness. And if so, how would that cause an increase in trim? You know, I'm thinking if there's even partial combustion, it's the oxygen that's going to get consumed, and you're going to have leftover hydrocarbon. I mean,
Are we
Exactly, but
going
no-
to get into the potato sensor theory here? Does an O2 sensor only read O2?
No, well, I don't know.
Water, too.
I mean,
I'm
I think we
thinking-
could probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
All we know is the car is fixed, and all he did was clean the snot out of it.
I got an idea. Did you
I
ever
also
test
cleaned
it
them.
after? Did you ever test it after you just smoked it though?
Why? Where are you going with that?
Is it possible that the intake gasket? Now listen, an intake gasket.
The pressure.
And then the
The
spaceship
pressure.
came.
Now listen. Now I want you to watch this right here. Okay, listen. You have vacuum of the engine, and it's opening this valve this way, right? Now, when you put pressure on it with the smoke machine, it's
Right.
pushing the valve this way.
By 3/4 of a PSI.
Yeah. So, like, you pushed it this way, you pushed the valve closed,
And he fixed it.
it's stuck back.
And his
And
first
it's the
D cell
intake
stuck right
gaskets.
back in.
And like I told you, it's an intake gasket. Just saying.
And then the spaceship landed.
On one bank.
All right, let's take a
It's a
look.
GM. It's always the intake gaskets. Intake gaskets.
You sound like a dealer tech. No offense. Kidding. That was a joke. You might be right. I don't know.
I think PJ's right.
I mean, I could see it though. Like, how much pressure though? How much pressure does that smoke machine put on it?
It's about 1 PSI at most. Evap pressure. Yeah,
I got an important question for you. Did you ever pull the O2 sensor and actually take a look at it?
I did not. Nope.
So you could have been coated with whatever
That's what I
was
was
coming out
thinking,
of those
Keith.
cylinders.
But like his fuel trims were fixed like within seconds of just cleaning that intake tube.
After I cleaned the intake, I put the intake back on. I saw my trims starting to go negative. I got in the car and I drove it. I come back, everything was happy.
That's called FM.
Yeah, right.
Yep, that's FM. Freaking magic.
Obviously, he did something. I just don't know what the heck it is. I can't put my.
You did charge well for whatever you done.
Oh yeah, we made money.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm gonna stick with it was the water getting stuck in the cylinder, and then
You know what?
fucking with it.
If I was you and I fixed this car, I'd ask my boss, "Do I really have to put the engine back in the other one? Can I just do something else?"
Yeah. Let's go. I mean, this kind of reminds me of the Colorado I fixed that we still don't know what we done to fix. I just magically sparked the cool, and all of the cool started to fire once again. And
Oh, the coil.
yeah, cool.
I thought you meant you lit a cigarette. You sparked
The curl. The curl. It was the curl.
I ain't got no fire in it. By God, I didn't have no fire. I had to spark
I
that
got
cool right
no
there.
fire
Got
in
that
the
fire
cool.
back in it.
Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Let's
Speaking
just
of
do this.
fire,
Yeah, speaking of
Got,
fire.
ain't got no fire.
hey, I wanted to do it. Now go ahead. Turn up the volume. I want to hear him panic. If you haven't seen this, you better.
God.
I don't know why.
I want to see him behind there.
No,
freaking
watch
out.
Brian run.
I think that's the only time he's ever run.
I was alone in the shop, by the way. No
Lucky
one was
you.
there. Just
I
me.
did that
Guys,
once. I did that once on almost that same engine. Everybody around me was laughing. There was a fire extinguisher right next to all of us, and all they did was laugh while I was jumping around like a bitch.
Water leaves less of a mess.
See, that's how the water got into that intake in the first place. In case you were wondering.
I should have checked my trims.
While you're here, click subscribe if you guys are watching.
No, right in that market, we done 2,400.
He did it again.
No Britney Spears.
And if anybody's wondering, you're more than welcome to share this on Facebook as much as you want.
I need to make this a case study.
I love
Like,
it.
fake
This
this
is
one, I can
good.
fake this one.
What is the case study going to be? Fuel is flammable what?
All right. Flammable.
Excuse me, Mr. Customer. What had happened was. Hold on, let's do it one more time.
Well, you needed an ejector. Now you need like everything.
You know what's
Hey, can
funny
I
is
send
that
it?
he
Did you send
kept
this?
this video and
Oh, look,
never
spider!
deleted.
Kill a fire!
You did. Your
He's trying to blow it
insurance.
out.
Your insurance agent is not on your YouTube, right? It might not be good.
My face hurts.
You know, Snap-on might actually pay you for a demo, like a promo on this thing, because you got the pro. You
You got the wrench, you got
right there. Yeah.
That's the picture you need for that. When did you learn the value of a good mechanic?
Right.
That's been my problem. I keep trying to get them to sponsor
Being
our
a
scope
good
class, and I
mechanic
send them
knows
this
what to
video
do.
for demo.
I
Being a
had
good
really good
mechanic-
intentions with that video, and it just
It
didn't
means
work
knowing
out.
what to do in a panic situation.
Yeah, I got that thing. There was no damage to that
Honestly,
car.
I can't believe there was no audio from you. I'd have been like, ah.
Cool,
No,
calm, and
just
collected.
before that, he said, "Fire it up, Gus."
Well, if you listen real close, you hear him as soon as the fire starts.
I thought he said. Wait, I thought he said, "All right, Josh, hit it."
Just hit it.
If I ever hear you cracking on Danner for blowing those bags, I'm just gonna pull that video.
Wait, you mean Danner that blew up his Jeep? That guy?
You know,
Well, no, when he blew
Danner-
the bags, when he goes, I usually would tap on this module, but it's an airbag module, so you shouldn't do that.
Danner
then
actually
flips it upside
played
down.
Danner played that video in front of all of his students and then recorded their reaction as well. So,
Oh, that's
all kinds.
I watched it and I was
Learn
like,
from
oh
my
my.
mistakes.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Hey, he did a pretty good. He did a pretty good radio show at Fanslow the other day. Did you guys see
Yeah,
that?
I listened to it.
I haven't watched that or listened to that one yet.
My biggest takeaway was what he said about finding balance in life.
Matrix.
Us, being stuck in a matrix. Us knuckleheads get so wrapped up in this thought process that we fail to step away from it. I'll tell you what, it helped ruin my marriage.
Yeah, but what if you just like it?
I love it, but I'm saying it's just it's what
Probably what saved mine.
my takeaway, right? My takeaway was when he said one of his kids said to him, "Hey, Dad, blah 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 blah," and he said, "Hold on, I'll be there in a minute." And the kid said something like, "What do you mean, like 3 hours from now?"
Yeah.
And I've been in situations like that. It's like just got to be careful.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that sounds like me because every time I say, I just got one. I just got to do this one PCM. I'll be home in 15 minutes. 3 hours later.
Yep.
Was what happened was.
What happened was, Brian, how we doing on the raffle ticket?
Let me pull it up.
Tommy was yelling at me.
How many people are on here still? Oh, by the way, if anybody has an MDI on order, an MDI 2, I got confirmation they're shipping. I just got my confirmation.
Doing good so far.
Congratulations.
We got,
11.
I have about. Let me do the math here.
It's too late to
I'm
math.
out of fingers.
It's more than 7. Oh, Brandon, Mike Nicholson wants to give you shit for that dealer tech comment.
I have about 40 entries.
What do you mean? I was a dealer tech. I can say that.
Yeah, I was too.
And I did say just kidding right afterwards, and I meant to say not all dealer techs.
Listen, you need to go on The View. You need to go apologize to Al Sharpton.
Come on, Whoopi Goldberg.
I didn't say I was sorry. I was just explaining. I used to be one.
So we got about 40.
About 40 entries so far. Yep.
Not bad.
Nice.
Keep them coming, guys.
And for those that missed the beginning part, I'm going to put this up so they can see it real quick. On our
You want to show the
website,
correct scheme this time?
on our website, there's a button to
Excuse me.
find out more information. We're giving away a Picoscope on a charity sweepstakes. To enter to win, all the instructions is on our website. Click this
Do you want
button
me to-
here, and it'll
you want me to
I
rub
put
it-
the
They
I
need
put
to-
the link in chat already.
pull up this.
Hey, Adrian.
What?
You didn't hear no bell.
I just saw this dude put something about 8 channels. Adrian, if you need 8 channels of scope, it's totaled. Just drive it to the crusher.
Wait,
Drive it to the crusher.
Wait,
Oh.
JK, he works on a lot of Land Rovers, so he needs all the help he can get.
Is that Mr.
Oh
Figure?
well, they're only worth $1,500 3 years after you buy them. Just like I said, drive them to the crusher. Hey, I have a Land Rover. What was
You
it? I
can't
said?
drive them. You can't drive them to the crusher. They won't make it.
I tried to do a Land Rover key, a Range Rover key, and it ended badly. And it was basically just I was like, "Yep, I'm not doing this anymore. Nope, I'm out."
What was that, Mr. Frias? Adrian, you're talking about?
Yes, yeah. Oh no, Adrian Lowe's.
Oh, that one. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Florida boy.
Florida boy.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
He's a good
Flo-
guy.
Flo-
As much
Not
as
as
I
much
do.
as you do, yeah.
He
Florida
likes it in
wetland
Florida.
rovers.
I like when Rich
Florida
gets
wetland.
pissed and he goes, "I'm not from Florida. I'm from
I
Jersey."
was doing that right before this started.
Rich, I think you and I grew up many years apart, but probably
Oh!
no, serious. I think we were 10 or 15 minutes away from each other.
Probably, yep.
And he doesn't say gravy, which is weird.
Jersey
We're not gonna get
Freeze.
into that.
Remember Jersey Freeze?
I grew up right near Jersey Freeze.
Freeze.
Yep, absolutely. When there was a circle there, I love that place. Now no one knows what we're talking about.
Sorry.
What about good
Reminiscing
I
of
do-
Dirty Jersey.
I will say one thing about Florida. Y'all have more meth heads than we have in East Tennessee. So that's kind of.
Thank you.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Oh
Hey,
my
we
Yeah.
worked very hard for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. There's a lot of meth in Florida. A lot. You can just see it from the road. It's just ridiculous.
Well, they said that if you live in Florida, you're within 5 miles of a meth lab. Somebody said that somewhere. It didn't matter where. Florida's a big state, and if you live in Florida, you're within 5 miles of a meth lab.
Well, if you live in Jersey, you're like 5 minutes away from a dump somewhere.
I don't know if the guy from Long Island should be talking.
Wait, Chris, I can't. Are you from California or Vegas? Or
Everywhere.
I've been
Well,
everywhere.
how long? So that's the tough question because like how long do you have to live somewhere to be from there? And
Where were you born?
Where did you fall out?
born in California
Oh gosh.
till 3, then I was upstate New York, and then Las Vegas, then here. I'm from everywhere. I'm from everywhere.
When did you
man.
move to Long Island?
Long Island. You're saying it wrong.
1994.
94. Hey, show us a picture of you back there. Love that.
There's a picture. There's a picture.
You know,
of being
pants on the
dressed-
ground, right? That one.
No,
Pants on
no,
the ground?
there's a picture of being a dress from back then. I haven't seen
That's a
it.
shocker.
94. When was that? Was that like the Clinton era?
Yeah, that was Pete Clinton.
Back and forth.
You mentioned that work-life balance thing, and I got to say, by the way, since I moved down here in the South, work-life balance, they must have they need a lot of balance at home. 5:01 p.m. These people shut down. It's like you would think that if they weren't out by 5:15, that they would have to pay the bosses to stay there. Lights off, everything closed, gates down. 5:01, they're out the doors.
Keith, my
What part of the South are you in? 'Cause
Wait,
it
North
sounds like where
Carolina.
I'm at. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the first job I had at an independent shop down here in Bradenton, Florida, at 4:30, the service writer is shutting the lights off in the shop, and I turn to him and I go, I got 2 more cars. I'll have them done by 5. Did you call the customer? And he goes, I called the customer at 1 o'clock and told them they'll be done tomorrow. Let's get the hell out of here. It blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
What is that all about?
The area that I'm in has tripled in population. Tripled. That's the actual number. It's tripled in population, and they have not had any new shops. So the shops that are here, they turn away diagnostic work. Have no interest at all in even touching it. They won't do it.
Slows them down.
Period.
They're making too much money on gravy.
Even if they could do it, they won't. Even if they had the guy who's the fastest in the world and most efficient, they wouldn't do it because it blocks the driveway for them to pull in the other gravy work.
Wow.
Simple enough. But here's the fun part. They still won't stay late. So you have a parking lot outside that you're choked with, and then you won't even stay past 5 o'clock, and you won't open on a Saturday?
Well, I got a question. What about the second new level?
Yeah.
The second story new level.
Hey, but like, here's a serious question though. Like, why do they need to?
Why do they need to? Well, that's the thing. Do you need to, or do you want to? If you're looking to expand, if you're ever looking to become, something a little bit bigger, especially now when you have, the opportunity to be the one shop that does it. I mean, these little mom and pops around here. They got these, these decent sized shops and everything. And yeah, granted, real estate's up high right now, but you could snag another shop and make double the killing. And, wouldn't it be nice to just sit there and be able to go ahead and say to your kids, yeah, I already bought you a house. You're all set to go. I don't know. I mean, that's something about that work-life balance to me says, I'm pretty sure the kids would appreciate you a little bit more there if you gave them a house at 18, than they would for you to sit around there on the couch while they're doing homework.
Yeah, but then they just be bitches because they'd be handed a house.
They already are.
I don't.
I didn't say
My
I
kids
didn't
are
say you have to
already
tell them.
entitled enough. I don't want them to be any more entitled.
I'll speak for mine.
I didn't say the houses were in good shape. Okay.
I got a 12-year-old that she's already like. Apparently, I'm like an ATM or something. I don't know. She's just like any other time. She hates us unless there's money involved.
Hey, Keith,
I got the
you
answer
wanna-
for that.
Mike,
Brian, there's a question in the chat. Did you see that from B Matusi? I hope I'm saying that right.
You're what?
B Matusi. With the PCV valve, crankcase pressure would go into the intake tube instead of the intake manifold.
Right.
Would that affect it? I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
It's going to affect something. I mean, that's tough to.
as in the fresh
But
air.
Vince-
breathing?
Is
Is he saying if it's
That's not a vacuum leak. It's air.
Is
That's
he
already,
saying is since the PCB's blocked is blow by, we'll call it blow by, getting through the fresh air and looping back around into the intake. That's what's happening.
I mean, either way, way the engine is eating that
I think
PCV gases. It just comes.
But
in a
it's
different
going
manner.
before. I mean, this is before the
I
throttle
think
plate.
he's
Yeah, but that's where the fresh air comes into.
Right.
Look, go
Yes.
back to your ductwork.
Yes, but
Yeah,
here's
I
the
think
problem.
he's referring
But
to
I
a
think
poster.
we had
Oh,
this
it's-
conversation back
yeah.
when we ran into this. We were trying to wrap our head around,
Yeah,
was
talk-
the mass airflow or was the PCM calculating
You know what
airflow
sucks?
assuming that air?
DeFazio knows what's wrong. He's just not going to tell us.
Now that air coming into the intake duct, it may be turbulent near the mass air.
But so what I was going to say
Yes.
is this: we talked about that, about possibly the blow by going back to the intake. However, you did not clean the PCV until
No.
after your fuel
No.
trims were better.
Oh, so he just cleaned the oil and water out.
Yeah.
And trims
Yeah.
were fixed. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you did. Okay,
All right.
I thought you did it all at once.
I forgot about that part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Can I share my screen?
But
with you?
I mean, with the crankcase gases being pushed into that intake duct, that might be the cause of the mass airflow code if it's making the air turbulent around the mass air. I mean,
Well, just
Agreed.
right. Just the fact that the air is no longer coming in the inlet, it's being displaced by the, I'll call it crankcase pressure blowing through the fresh air vent.
Mhm.
I wonder if that's just causing off a disruption, like you said,
yeah, because
messing with the flow rate.
The crankcase gases are definitely not going where they're supposed to,
Right.
and,
They're
and
like-
that mass air is being.
Well, how do I share this?
Some of these
Rest assured,
GMs,
at the
some of these
bottom-
GMs will use the map sensor at idle too, right? I mean, isn't there
This is-
the strategy changes sometimes depending on the.
This is the closest thing I
RPM.
can find to this card. Where are we at?
At the bottom, there's your green arrow.
Share screen.
You don't know what controller this was, do you, Brian?
I don't.
What was it? I'm gonna look and see real quick. Hold on.
2008 Suzuki.
Before I share my screen. 2008. Was it a 2008 Suzuki?
Yeah, 360.
Yep.
Suzuki.
Keith, what's wrong with this thing?
Suzuki? XLR something? XL7?
XL7. Yeah.
PCM?
Keith,
Oh,
what's
God.
wrong? What's wrong with this thing?
Oh no, I really don't.
Wait, let me ask you though. I mean, we've seen case studies where GMs, the fuel trims do something different than we expect at idle because the strategy leans heavier on the map sensor sometimes.
Yeah, but that would affect both.
Yeah. The easiest way on the GM is I'll go ahead and tell you, and if you think that it might be a MAF problem, is go out there while the vehicle is running, unplug the mass airflow sensor to stumble and die upon itself, and then start it back. And once you do that, you no longer have to worry about the MAF. You're in speed density mode. And now we have taken the MAF out of the equation.
Sure.
That's what I tell everybody to do on the GM stuff.
As soon as I see a bank-to-bank shift, though, MAF's out of my mind totally. I don't even.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
be- I
but
wouldn't
I'm
be
with
thinking
you.
about
It's
it.
not a MAF issue because it's I'm trying to see what PCM this thing shares with, so I can try to pull a file that's going to be.
Keep on thinking about that
someone-
O2 sensor, and that O2 sensor would dry off pretty damn quick.
You think?
It wouldn't take much. Yeah, well, because you had a mix there. If you were mistiating that water, and it was sitting there or coolant or
Misty.
whatever. Yeah, well, I don't know, right? So that's what's happening, right? It's just getting picked up through the intake. So it's going to sit there and it's going to have that same kind of effect there. It's going to take some of that evaporation of it, bring it down in there, and it's going to get through the cylinder. I mean, can't compress water, but since it's still in a vapor form, could enough of that be there, pick it up with oil and water mixed on the O2 sensor? And then realistically, how long does it take to come off of a 600-degree O2 sensor?
Yeah.
5 or 400-degree O2 sensor.
But wouldn't superheated water vapor be keeping the O2 and the pistons and all that clean in there?
I'm sure it would. I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
I compressed water one time. Didn't work very well after that, but I did.
I don't know, Rich. I think that's how we used to clean valves anyway.
Yeah.
Are you saying back in Rich's day? Is that what it is? Is that an old joke?
I can't even lie. That was my day too.
You know what?
I'm down for an old joke.
Don't make me start to dye my beard again.
Rich got bursitis from cranking the engines over.
Oh, damn.
By the way, JK, I have the answer. By the way, for your 12-year-old, you buy this stuff, right? Here you can't really see it. This is called Autel money. It's cloned money. It's the fake shit. You can buy it for you get like $5,000 worth of this for about $5 on Amazon if you want, and you just take this and you hand it off to the kids, and I guarantee you, right after they get in trouble with it, they'll never ask for more.
That's fun.
It works a charm.
All right, so what do we delete?
Well, my kids are like straight up con artists. So yeah, they're smarter than that. They would be like, no, that's not gonna work. That's
You know
fake.
what mine gets me with? Dad, I want some Roblox money. You guys hear that Roblox?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kids are into that.
Oh.
Yep.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
All right, so I pulled up, and this is the closest thing I'm gonna get because there's no supported Suzuki's, and I don't know what controller, but this is an E67, 2008 GMC Acadia 3.6. What was that other piece of junk you had?
But that one had air fuel ratios, right?
Wait, which had air fuel? Which one had air fuel?
The Buick was a 2006, and that was a Buick Lucerne, and that was an older one that had AFRs instead of 4 oxygen sensor. And it wasn't, I shouldn't say AFR.
That's because that's GM money. The other one was Suzuki money.
It had one single AFR.
Well, I keep that thing on me. I think this has got regular O2s also. All right, we're looking at these airflow tables, right? So, because y'all were asking about something in here, and I was trying to see if there was a PID for it, or a calculation, or whatever. What was we talking about? Something with the airflow on the
Mass air?
Well, no, the mass airflow would be right here. Would be your MAF calibration. So that's your airflow versus frequency. And that's what they call the MAF calibration. So if you ever get one that's got like the wrong MAF on it, or if you ever got one of those in that they bought like a janky AutoZone MAF and all of a sudden the car just went all to hell, that's because the calibration's wrong. So this is your calibration here for the mass airflow sensor. That's in a graph type form. And this is just showing, so basically saying, when you're at 2950, you're at 40.9 grams.
That 2950 hertz equates to 40.9 grams of air.
Yes.
Okay. What?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know why we were here. What are we trying to look at? What are we?
Well, no. Well, I was going. So when you talk about the MAF, and that because y'all were just saying that, I was saying like the MAF, but that affects both banks, so we know it's not there. But then we were talking about and I was going to tell you it's kind of like dynamic and how that works. So some of that is VE, and some of that is that, and that's where dynamic airflow comes into play on the GMs. That's what decides, hey, what is that? But we were trying to find. I was looking in here just trying to find if there was some kind of coefficient or some kind of deal for the PCV. Like if there was some kind of calculation in here for PCV. An
assumed value for PCV
flow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I was coming in here to see. Yeah, that's what I was coming to look to see.
Brian, call your customer back in, pinch that PCV off, read the grams per second at idle, and then open it back up.
No,
Yeah.
Would that? What would I do?
No, but the thing of it is, though, is like I'm back to math. If it's math, it's both cylinders. I mean, both.
No, I know.
banks,
I
yeah.
know. I know. I'm just thinking.
You
If
just
it's
wanted to see
ethanol
how the
content,
restriction
it's-
correlated to airflow or lack thereof.
I like. You see, Chad, the practical mechanic. If the intake is an over/under split after the throttle body, the liquid could be going to the
Right,
bottom
down
to one bank.
Bias to one.
I don't know what that intake looks like after the throttle body.
Can you pull up that picture again, Brian? You still got that stage?
Yeah.
I don't
It's
see
gotta
anything
be
in
there. It just can't be mass. It can't be skewed or faulty
I mean,
mass airflow.
when Brian first mentioned it to me, it had.
I want to know where the P101 come from, because are you still looking here?
I
So
think
here's
the
like for
Product
the
of restriction.
P01, there's like all the thresholds for that P101 code.
You don't have freeze frame.
in
you said, right?
hertz.
I don't know.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot.
I don't get where the P0. I don't get it.
Like I said, my only guess on that would be
Here,
all the
Anybody else?
blowback gas is being pushed into the
Can I-
duct right near the mass air.
can I
Yeah.
share my screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I got a picture of an intake manifold. So that's your intake, right, Brian?
Probably.
Looks like it.
No,
Throttle-
it's
throttle's
not.
here?
It's not. No, I have the picture right here. Let me show you.
You got a picture of it sideways, so you can look at how it flows.
They can see that. Let me share my screen for you guys.
Which one was it? Was the one that has the two ports to go to each side? That is the one this one here.
No, that's different.
The
That's
top
different.
of it's different.
It
See
kind-
see how there's this like inlet here, and then there's this inlet here.
Yeah, it looks like it splits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Y.
So it's not over under. It's side by side.
Let's take a look. Here,
But one's closer to the duct than maybe. I don't know. I guess
It's stupid Suzuki stuff.
Yeah,
we need
it
a
is.
mechanical engineer in here.
Some things, you just got to walk away from.
here.
Yeah, we'll already talk about.
That's
them.
the one I have to talk about. we have two fixed cars with no answers tonight.
So,
Story of my life.
Are you doing a case study, Rich?
If we have time, I said I have
It's
that. Lexus to talk
10:45. Why are
about.
we not done your case study?
We don't.
let's
We
do
don't.
it. Shit,
We
man.
don't have to talk about this one.
I gotta get on a plane.
Wait,
in 7
do
hours.
you-
Look at this.
Do you have Do you also have one of these? I don't know what I done to fix the cars.
What? I have a car that's fixed, and I know what fixed it, but I don't know why.
That sounds like the one I done. I fixed it, but I don't know what I done.
How long is your
And I can prove
Lexus
it.
case study?
I can prove it out, but
Can we get it done in 15 minutes?
15 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
let's do it.
Wow.
No jokes.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
let Rich
see.
talk.
I had a coffee, so I'm good. I'm golden.
Put your
All right,
jersey
hold on.
on.
I can definitely do it. Let me just get
That's what she said.
this out of the way so that I'm
I'm out
not
of
looking
bigger.
at that.
Hey,
All right.
we're doing a
Share
sweepstakes, sweepstakes for
The
Picoscope,
sweepstakes. Oh, look at that! I just happened to share the screen where we're raffling or sweepstakes.
Trainbowtex.com / Pico.
Oh, I wanted to say we talked
Tactical.
about we thought about I got
Sensitive.
pictures of being addressed. If we get what 200 raffles in there or 200 tickets in there, I'll share the picture.
If we get 300, he'll wear the dress.
I'll try to find it. I look.
Please get
damn
200.
good.
Please get 200.
You
It's
ain't
not even about
squeezing
the
into that
Pico.
dress now.
All right.
I'm looking at the picture. I got hard. Just saying.
Whoa.
All right. So I don't have a fancy PowerPoint ready for this one. I said we just talk about it, but I'll share a couple of things here. So
What challenge level is it? Orange or?
huh?
That's
You
another
You gotta
Brian joke.
put a colored bar up there. Tell me what.
Oh,
color it
okay.
is.
It's green. It's already fixed. Just
All
making
right,
shit
so Chris and I think Keith know Rick at Sarasota Motorworks.
Rick, yeah.
Rick
Palante.
at Sarasota Motorworks calls me, and he had a 05 Lexus RX 330 come in with battery draw. He talked to, is it Drew? Is
Yes,
Drew one of your guys?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's in the chat right now.
Is he? Okay, so
Yeah.
so Rick talked to Drew, and they determined the draw was coming from the BCM. So they replaced the BCM, but before replacing the BCM, they had about a half an amp draw. So it was significant. After replacing the BCM, they have almost an amp draw. So the problem got worse. But I'm going to say this right up front. I believe the BCM was the problem all along. So Rick called me because he was getting frustrated with it and he was busy. And, he said, can you come take a look at this? So I get there, and we don't have to talk about figuring out parasitic draws. We've done videos on that before. But, he's got his amp clamp hooked up. It's got nearly an amp draw. I do voltage drop across the fuses. Nearly the entire draw is coming from the ECU B fuse. So I'm going to go to the wiring diagrams and see what that ECU B fuse feeds. So let me do that here. You guys are looking at the Motologic screen, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm just going to do power distribution just because I know it's in there. So we go to power distribution. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it. And there's the ECU B fuse, 7.5 amp fuse. Okay, cool. All the draw is right there. What does he power? Oh, just
everything.
Just
on a 7.5 amp fuse.
Yeah.
Powers everything.
all of
the
that.
things.
So now I'm looking for ways to sort out exactly how do I track down where's the wiring diagram so I can move my amp clamp and figure out which one of these circuits is causing this problem. And the issue is this is all I've got on the aftermarket wiring diagram. And if I go back to the OE wiring diagrams, oh, come on, internet. Actually, we'll go here. I'm trying to remember exactly.
I just want you guys to know, by the way, that Rick has every car that he calls up is a parasitic draw. I'm quite convinced of that.
He does have a lot of parasitic draw issues.
Unbelievable.
So going through
it's all wet.
Going through the OE wiring diagrams, I find the same thing. I find that ECU B fuse and it goes to some junction blocks and it doesn't tell me where anything goes. So I'm getting frustrated. I've spent about, I don't know, maybe an hour trying to figure out, where did this wire go through the underhood fuse block, and I'm getting a little frustrated. And then Rick's guy, who's named Rick, says,
Is that like Mike's dog, Mike?
Like Ed and Eddie.
So Rick Fortin and I think his son is watching. His son is named William. So hi, William.
Rick too.
But anyway, Rick says I'm an hour in. Rick says, "Hey, did you tell him about the power windows? What about the power windows?" And that's when the other Rick goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. The power windows work all the time." So. Oh, there's at least I've got a direction now. Oh, the power windows work all the time.
Meaning, like you can come out at 3 a.m. and push a button and it'll roll down no matter what.
Yeah.
Without the key.
I think that's a handy feature to have.
So I'm gonna share a picture with you guys because this is the car.
Now wait, I didn't sign up for this. Oh, never mind.
What? Can anybody tell why the power windows are working all the time? I've got the car set up. I've got it,
The switch is unplugged.
Well, all right. So, no, with the switch plugged in, the power windows work all the time.
What's that hoodie you got sitting over
That's
there?
a nice hoodie.
You like that? Trained by Tech's hoodie? I should have placed
Where'd
it a
you get
little
that?
more strategically.
Where'd you get that hoodie?
On our website.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
See the clamp over here?
Yeah.
It's got old school door jam switches in it.
Oh.
I'm cycling the key, and the car never sees the door open, and the power windows stay on. It's the retained accessory power or whatever.
It won't time out.
You could wait 20 minutes, it would still work.
Hmm.
But I just thought to myself, all right, maybe this is related to the retained accessory power. Let me go look at power windows, and maybe that'll give me some more information. So I bring up the wiring diagram for the power windows, and if we zoom in over here, we see ECU B fuse 7.5 amp. Great. Now I can see where it goes.
It goes into nowhere.
It goes into nowhere.
The space of that box.
Yeah, that's it. This box is instrument panel junction box on the left side of the dash, and then this is the BCM over here. So I can find.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm getting even more frustrated now, and this is the only thing I have to go on. In doing a little bit of digging, I actually found a mistake, and I let Motologic know about it. Let's see if they fixed it.
I always come across them. They always bite me. I always seem to find the mistakes. It's when I need to have the right information the most.
I had a PT.
I got a very quick. I got a very quick response from them. So let's see.
Oh, that's good.
Let's see if it's fixed. It is. All right. So.
Cool.
Oh, look at that. There's a trace.
Oh.
Yeah, if we put them side by side, see there's nothing here, but on that one, it's there.
You have a winner, folks.
So they fixed it, but originally that sent me for a loop because again, I couldn't tell where the ECU B fuse was going. This isn't a dotted line, so it's a solid wire, and it now tracing this in, if I follow this wire down, one of these here,
I don't like how that's laid out.
it's goofy.
Like the crossing black lines. Yeah.
Rich, I just want to tell you, you're making Keith's argument right now for factory diagrams.
Yes,
well,
please.
I mean, here's the thing. Toyota is usually really good about giving the aftermarket OE wiring diagrams. For this car, I couldn't find the OE wiring diagrams. So,
is it? I thought it was supposed to have like a little doober dauber if it crossed over, even in the aftermarket.
A doober dauber?
Like a dot, like a dot or something. It has like a dot or
like a Mustang.
Or it makes a little squiggly as if it passes under and it doesn't connect. Or...
So
y'all move this Tennessee.
You make sound effects when you're highlighting your diagrams, don't you? like the Ichabod marker.
Like I go like, man, look at that right there, man.
like picture pages, picture pages, picture pages.
That's what I was thinking.
They're like, did you read the repair information, the service information? I'm like, yeah, like I can read. I look at them picture diagrams.
So to get back to this one, I get to the draw being this blue wire right here, which is a feed into the power window master switch. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe Rick and his son William, maybe they were right. Maybe this is power window related. Maybe something else is keeping the power windows on. So I go through all of the power feeds and grounds and I check everything. And it's not like ignition switch is staying on or hanging up like a bad ignition switch. I can't find anything on this one. And I spent a better part of a day on this one. And Rick says, I have a used power window master switch that we've tried and it didn't make any difference. So I said, well, give it to me. Let me just try. And I plug it in. And in looking at my service information, at some point in one of my searches, I saw, you got to relearn the windows. So you got to go around to each window and hold the switch. Well, I go back and relearn the windows just to make sure all the windows work, and the draw goes away. If I learn the windows, the draw is gone. The car goes to sleep, the power windows stop working, and everything is fine.
But if you unlearn the windows, does the draw come back?
If I disconnect the battery and hook it back up, and I do not learn the windows, the draw is there. And it wasn't a full amp; it was like half an amp. But I had my amp clamp right on it, and I did it 4 times just to prove it out.
I just want to make sure I wasn't zoning out. Can you go back to that diagram real quick, Rich?
Which one? Power windows?
Yes. So at the left side of the diagram there. So here's what I would do if I was stuck in that position, because I don't know what's going on. Obviously, the source of the drain is going towards the switch from your source.
Mm-hmm.
We want to figure out is anything coming out. Which one of those wires, if any, was pulling a drain?
Nothing.
So it was all internal to that switch.
It was at this blue wire, and this switch, little LED on the switch would flash until I learned it.
Wow.
So I did it a couple of times. I even left it unlearned, shut everything down, cycled the key, walked away, and for some reason the power window switch would stay awake. I guess looking for that learn signal from all the other windows.
With that master switch unplugged, the draw is gone.
With that master switch unplugged, the draw is still there.
Really?
You have to plug the master switch in and learn it, and the draw goes away.
With the switch unplugged, what is pulling the current?
That I don't know. That I honestly, by the end of the day, when I figured out that the draw would go away if I learned the switches, Rick and I looked at each other and went, "Could it just have been that? Could we have been chasing our tails for that long?"
So Rich,
I think you broke DeFazio. I think you broke him.
So Rich.
Yeah.
Rich, to look at Windows switch data, what year is this car? 2005. Are you going to the BCM to look at Windows switch data, or are you looking at the window driver's door? Because I see you got your power window switch is a CAN bus.
It is on.
Yeah. I can see data.
Bus to the is the bus, so you can go into the driver's door module, and look at data. So so it's not the BCM keeping it alive.
No.
Guys, before we finish talking about this, let me put on these other boots.
What did I miss? What was it?
Oh, these are my galoshes.
He's just saying it's getting deep here. This is the thing. As I could prove it out, and I proved it out 3 or 4 times that if that power window master switch was not learned, we had the draw. So this is another one of those where it's fixed, and I can't prove to myself.
It's got to be that window switch on the network talking to something
else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I didn't pull out the scope and scope communication lines or anything like that.
You scroll back up.
You had at least eight wires there. You could put 8 channels in there.
Well, can I get that? Did you just say you fixed a car without using a lab scope?
I know, hard to believe, but
oh my gosh!
I had plenty.
Let's document this.
I've had plenty of this era of vehicle, Honda, of course, with window switches getting hung up on the beautification, wood grain panels, and mechanically sticking and just creating an input that's keeping computers alive. You know what I mean? But if you were to unplug it and the system went to sleep, your drains went away.
Yeah.
It was enough. It wasn't moving the window, but it was registering. Is that what you're saying?
Keith's pulling out the factory diagram right now. He wants to see how bad the motor logic one is.
Just curious. I want to see if they missed anything.
Bring it up. I'd love to see it because I.
You want to share your screen, Keith?
Yeah. Just let me get logged in here first.
I did the usual, searches and talked to PJ because he's our resident Toyota guy, and no one's run into that before. So I just.
I got a Lexus dealer guy. I'm gonna give him a call, see if he just knows something we don't like.
No.
I know Keith knows.
And the thing is that
It's got to be another module that 7.5 amp fuse provides power to. That's my
Yeah, this
guess.
wiring
What,
diagram is
Rose?
wrong too.
It's
Do you
it's
know what
somebody.
most Lexus dealer techs are really good at doing?
No, this dude's sharp.
Finding the squeak. Finding the squeak. Because Lexus customers are like, there's this squeak. There's this squeak coming from my car. But it only does it when you're going over train tracks and it's raining and it's 4 degrees outside and my dog's in the back in its cage.
And it's a machine.
And we're going to the
They
rescue.
don't ever cage their dog, man. What are you talking about?
Oh, that is right.
You've gone through like 3 different types of drinks. Now you're in a red solo. I've watched you drink like 3 different cans of beer. Now you're in a red solo.
JK's life song is one bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
One bourbon.
He's got Jack
One
Honey.
scotch. Listen, boys, one day when y'all grow up like me and in the good old Dale right there. Right there. Right there.
Doing it for Dale.
He's on your
Doing
other
it.
shoulder.
Somebody put doing it for Dale, so I had to put Dale back here because I'm gonna tell you, there's only been a couple of times in my life that I've been really sad. And one of those times is I came in from school and I looked at my grandpa and I said, "What's wrong, Papa?" And he said, "I don't know how to tell you this." And I was like, "Oh God." I said, "What's wrong?" And he says, "Jackie, I just don't know how to tell you this." And I said, "What is wrong?" He goes, "Dale Earnhardt died today." And I said, "Papa, tell me it ain't true. Tell me you lying." The great one who was gone. And that seriously, I cried all day. Man,
It's
I'm
getting soft in here. We can't.
Yeah.
All right,
What?
so Keith,
Let's get soft. I want to get hard again.
Don't get Martino started. He's mighty.
Oh
These are the
God,
wiring
Brandon,
diagrams
take
that
your
I was
shirt
looking
off
at.
so we can get hard. No,
So-
I mean,
So here's my problem, Rich. So what was that? What was that fuse you said was the problem?
ECUB.
Yeah. So ECU accessory is here, goes up to body ECU. Here's ECU B, comes in, has one little splice, comes down, goes up here to our door control receiver. And that looks pretty good. You said you tracked it down and you were looking at the blue wire. So the blue wire comes out of
Blue
this
wire
one,
going directly to the power window switch.
Right.
SB. Yep, I'm
That
with
guy.
comes across
Uh-huh.
the bottom.
Keep
Yep.
going.
SB comes
There it
all the
is.
way up here to power window master switch.
That one there. Yep.
Yep. So you're saying the draw stayed there afterwards.
Draw stayed there.
Where's it go the other direction?
Door control receiver.
Now, honestly, you know what I can't say for a fact?
Your receiver's
With
probably
the
cornered.
switch disconnected, I didn't have the amp clamp on that blue wire
Door,
because
door control.
obviously you
receiver.
weren't gonna have draw there.
That's
But
is that the special and with
Ding,
an
ding,
antenna
ding.
for the door module for the door lock button?
It's like Toyota with their amplifier for their air conditioning.
I thought Ben or somebody had said they got burned by one of those.
Does it get hot?
Giggity.
Door control receiver.
Scroll down a little bit,
Yeah.
Keith. Follow that blue wire. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, you want me to go back to that? Yeah.
No, scroll down.
So,
How do we get up to that?
How do we get to what, buddy?
Scroll down. I want to scroll down a little bit. That light blue wire.
Wait, which screen are you guys still looking at? That's the question.
Yeah,
here.
Kay, where are you from?
There we are.
I'm from
You're on
East
this one.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
right
Never
Okay,
mind.
so it goes up. That's what I was looking
I
at.
knew a guy
It
from
goes up.
North Carolina. Maybe
Okay.
it was Kentucky. I can't remember, but he said,
Well, I'm not far from North Carolina.
So that's the battery. That's the battery.
it sounded like
fuse
you,
for the
and
door control
he
receiver.
called them Toyotas. He couldn't say Toyota. He called them Toyotas.
So what is
No,
what is the
we
job
can
of
say
that door,
Toyota.
What is the job of that door control receiver?
Coyotes, my God.
What is the job of it?
It go
Okay.
no, that's the communication wires up to the BCM, right?
This door control receiver? Actually, that's more than that. This is actually probably going to be what's going to receive your remote keyless.
So that's the
program-
thing. It's your
yeah.
antenna. It's your antenna for your keys. Okay.
Yeah,
Because you're going to see a PRG and RDA over here. That's usually what
Yep.
you have.
yeah.
Yeah.
But why would that?
Interesting, though.
But okay, but that's not going to keep it alive when you learn a. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The car is fixed, as far as I know. Rick hasn't called me back, so, and that was Monday, so it's been 4 or 5 days now. It's fixed.
The only thing I could think of is the body control module stores some data in the door switch somehow, and it's missing something, and it's looking for it.
It's waiting to
Or-
see that learned
Or is that
value
switch staying awake because it doesn't see that all the
But it
other
draws-
switches was learned?
But it draws it draws when it's disconnected. So
Here's
the only
a-
thing I can see is what's up.
Do you think this actually done this though in its original state of a new module, Or do you think that maybe there's like a timer circuit that's messed up on the board? Like a chip that's bad?
I think I wish I could have Dale Earnhardt's mustache.
Tell me about it, right? Look
Hey,
at
did you
that.
guys see what Robinson said in the chat?
Mike brings up a good point. Toyota will continue searching for a module if it's unplugged. So me leaving the switch unplugged, probably just keeping the BCM awake.
So you created a different draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really honestly think that the problem Rick had from the start was the BCM. But when he hooked the battery back up and the window lost its power, that's where we started chasing our tail. And I got thrown off because I was holding the door switch closed and all that other. And every interior light on this thing had an LED, like a Chinesium LED in it. So that was like the first thing I noticed. I start yanking LEDs at all the interior lights because I figured that's got to be freaking something out. But I think I was chasing my tail because of that, and I just can't prove it out.
Well, Mike could have said it if he unmuted himself and showed less in his head.
Where is Mike?
He's getting yelled at, I'm sure.
He's getting yelled at for like 2 hours now.
So
I always get yelled at.
Here's the Lexus pre-delivery.
Yeah, that's the document I found. Yep.
Yeah. Perform the initialization of the power widows. The power widows.
I love how you find that so fast. You find the like errors in everything. It's great.
That's what I tell people.
Except when I write a book. Those errors go all the way.
No, do you remember in Crocodile Dundee when he said he doesn't need a knife, he's got a dunk? I tell people I can fix anything because I got a DeFazio.
Yeah. It was interesting, though. This is what I was looking at here. Note, this feature is canceled after 43 seconds, or if either front door is open.
The auto up and down.
Yeah.
But that's after it's learned, though. I mean, but it's still waiting for a learn input. Can you learn it?
Well, I don't know.
With the door
So
open?
I was looking at here. So check the operation of the power door lock switches. Right here, the key accessory in the lock position. Okay.
And the door open.
Power windows can be fully open after the ignition key has been turned to the accessory or lock position. It's canceled after 43 seconds.
I can tell you it would stay awake a lot longer than 43 seconds. 20 minutes.
James asked if there was a big puddle of oily water in the door switch.
No.
Yes, that was it. We were waiting for that one.
No, you know what fixed this one, guys? The mass airflow sensor fixed this one.
Get that guy a Picoscope.
That shit in the intake tube, that's like the stuff from Ghostbusters, man.
Oh, God, are we back to about how you fix that intake gasket? What's the thing?
All right, man.
Well, it wasn't 15 minutes, but it was close.
All right, let's
That's what she said.
Let's win some sweepstakes.
Yeah, how we doing on tickets now, Brian?
We have about 61.
Dang.
Oh,
I told you, 200.
That means I got to
200.
buy 139 more to get a picture of him and address.
Oh,
You already got the pic. You already got the picture.
I'll give it to
Hey.
you for free, Keith.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait till we get to Vegas next week.
Now you can see a lot more than that.
What's in Vegas?
Matco Tool Convention.
Why do you want to go to the Macro Tool Convention?
I will be there representing Motor Age Magazine.
Just go to the Home Depot. It's the same thing.
Keith is talking, but he's quiet.
I'm just sitting back here.
He's like lip syncing. Okay, so hold up. Trying to get back to something actually fixing something, Falco. So
Holy Oats.
it's not supposed to stay on, right? So it was not supposed to stay on, right?
Right.
But it stayed on.
So after it's learned, it no longer stays on, right?
Yeah. So I had a handicap accessible van that was brought to me because I get a lot of those peristatic draws, right? And they were like, "Oh, the battery goes dead," and it ended up being a retained accessory power issue, just like that would not go to sleep. And is what it was is what's the one thing you do if you're in a wheelchair and you have like your van that lets you out the side is you never.
Oh, you don't open the driver's door. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're saying, so basically, is what happened was something in the car in that retained accessory power timer circuit failed, and therefore it would always just stay retained accessory power, and it would never turn off. So that's why I was wondering maybe if that BCM or whatever had the same effect,
or maybe because
there
the
was
door
a-
switch was not ever consistently released and then reapplied.
I mean,
But
that's
it-
what threw me off to start off, is that I had that clamp on the door jamb switch, so the retained accessory power would never go off.
But it doesn't matter though, because even if you don't have that clamp opening and moving, there should be a timer that shuts it off after
It should
a certain
be.
amount of
It
time.
should be, and it's in the
Right,
BCM
that's-
as far as I can tell.
That's what I'm wondering. What is it in those BCMs? Because I had a Chrysler that did the same thing. What component is failing inside of that BCM?
I don't know. It's a brand new dealer BCM, so I don't know.
Guys, we have royalty in the house. Everybody say hi to Rock.
We do not have royalty in the house.
Hey,
Hello.
Who are we talking to? Oh, Rocco.
We're talking to Rocco. Hello.
I don't know. Like DeFazio
What's
just
up,
like
little
dropped
man?
20 years in age.
Not much, I guess.
Hey, what are they feeding you, kid? You're getting big.
Blame him. Blame this person.
What happened to his voice, Keith?
You're asking what happened to my voice.
Does the whole family wear fedoras?
That's what I've been trying to say.
It's the whole family wear fedoras.
Fedoras.
Who knows?
It's a Kangol.
Whatever you call them.
Yeah, this is actually his Kangol. I just stole it.
Kangle, whatever. Oh wait, no, the
There's more
fedora's
here
got
for
all the way
everybody if you
around,
want.
isn't it?
Yeah, he has a collection. Of
Got a
Kangol.
shower
I
cap
don't
too.
know why. He might.
It's like they're gonna do a Netflix special. It's like the family that has no hair.
I mean, do you want to see my hair? Like, you can. I can show you, but you're not gonna like it. There's a reason we keep it covered up.
You hear that, Chris?
They asked for it. They asked for it.
Do why you can. Mine's falling out.
Yeah,
that's all of the hair.
enjoy it while it lasts.
I remember the
Yeah,
first
they
time I
said
got
enjoy it
shot
while
out of
it
a
lasts.
cannon. It looked like he stuck his finger in the same socket I did that U-scope.
I go do some homework or something.
See you, Rocco.
They said, "See you, Rocco."
don't grow up to be like us.
That's it.
We didn't grow up.
No.
We grew out.
Hey,
I
Keith,
remember.
Yes.
did you see the comment from Kerry Johnson?
No. Carrie Johnson.
Kerry from MEA?
Oh yeah.
Something about Grecian Gray.
Look at him. Wow.
Did you work in Staten Island?
Yeah, of course.
He ran Staten Island. Choo choo.
Oh, I thought Brian froze for a second there.
I'm here.
Staten Island and Hats Sopranos.
Hey, so I've waited too long to book a room for Vision, so I'm gonna come cuddle with you, okay, Brian?
Keith doesn't work. He accommodates the day.
Wait, you could get a room with Isaac. You should. Isaac doesn't take up much room. Trust me.
I think Isaac owes some room sharing to some people.
Isaac slept in my closet one year at Vision.
Yes,
He
he
piled
did.
up a bunch of pillows in the closet.
Tell me about that.
I had 4 people staying in my room with one bed.
I don't even think it's a money thing, because after he worked for WorldPack, he stayed with me in Vegas. So.
Brandon, that wasn't
So-
just to stay with you. That was
So
for
me
other
and Isaac shared a room when we went to Vegas. And then Isaac, something happened. He had to go home, right? He had like a family emergency.
Dog got sick, right?
Yeah, his dog got. And I was just like, "You're leaving me in Vegas unsupervised? Bad idea.
Oh, boy.
Bad idea." Luckily, I'm still here to talk about it.
Just not allowed to go back.
Not allowed to go back. All right,
Speaking of Vegas, I gotta go
Keith
to
and
bed
Liz
so I
to
can get
take
my
care of me.
plane.
All right, we packing it in because
Yes.
Martina. It's past Martina's bedtime.
It is
Mhm.
way past my bedtime. I have to touch myself before I go to bed. And I run out of
All
time.
right.
Speaking of
When
packing
I
it in,
get around you, I touch myself.
Damn straight. Sing it again.
Touch myself.
There we go.
Every time I see Steckler, I just touch myself.
You are singing my song. Whenever I'm on the phone with him,
I
that's,
muted him.
That's how it goes.
How do you
Nice.
mute me?
I can hear everything you guys are saying.
Not even fair. I was just sitting here talking about how much you know. I just sit around just thinking about old Steckler's body at the middle of the night.
How's it feel, Brandon, to be a sex symbol between the fat older dudes?
I just think about rubbing you down in 5W30 by God.
I gotta go.
Is that Octane 93 you're wearing?
I gotta go.
Sooner or later, it falls apart. So this is that point.
I'm gonna clean you out like a ball of seafoam, boy.
We've reached critical mass. I gotta go.
Do it for Dale.
Do it for Dale, my God!
Okay, can we go now?
We need to
Yes.
go.
By the way, again, 200, at least 200. 200. I'll show the picture.
Thanks for joining us,
Chris
everyone.
does
how
a
many
dedicated
entries-
OnlyFans in his dress.
Hey, how many entries do we have?
We have
Inchers.
Inches. What kind of question is that?
Well, there's only
He scared me.
1, 2,
62.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we might have 8 inches if we all bundle together. But
Thank you for the compliment.
62 entries so far.
62 entries. All right, if we get to 200 entries before 12 o'clock tonight, Brian's gonna put his chocolate starfish on the OnlyFans page.
Oh my God.
Hey,
you guys are worried about me.
He does that. Brian does that for free too.
Hey, did you show them my scope giveaway, Brian? Just to have that picture.
The what?
When I
The
was
tactical scope.
no, listen. When I went to I was
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Ireland, I was in Ireland. Real quick, we sat at the dinner table, all having a bunch of beers, like probably 20 of us, and I just had this idea. So I said, "Hey guys, I got scope upstairs. Anybody need a scope?" And they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, "You can have it. I won't charge you for it." So I went upstairs and they're talking amongst themselves like, "Is he serious? He's going to give us a scope?" And I came down there with a bottle of travel-size mouthwash. Here you go.
But
That's wrong.
It worked good. It was good. It worked out. You guys should bring it when you guys go back over.
I
Right.
was just thinking. we'll
for the
probably-
record, we're not raffling off that scope.
No, you guys should do it in England.
Brandon, you're teaching in the UK right now from a distance, aren't you?
Right now?
Darren, with Mechanic Mindset, Darren.
Oh, that was fun. That was a really good time. And you know what's ironic? You know that case study we did, that waveform? I worked with the guy down the street here.
Go figure.
Yeah, how about that? It makes its way to England and back.
that's pretty cool.
Good stuff. Yeah.
You're a superstar, Brandon.
No, I just talk too much.
A sexy, beastly superstar.
With the bouffant.
with a boo font.
Late, man.
Got a bare chest of a 12-year-old looking just glistening in the sun.
All right, we gotta go.
Wow. Yeah, we've
I'm
crossed the
pulling up
line
blood.
now.
Whew. Have a good evening, everyone.
Nice knowing you.
Good night.
All your friends to buy a raffle.
See you in the unemployment line.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night,
Yeah.
good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody. Y'all have a nice night. Stay out of trouble.
You too, JK. Thanks for coming.